Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. Hey, I'm Tommy Temper up here in the corner. We're getting the show started. Right now, we've got one streamer that we're picking up, and that would be Freedom Ford. The Freedom Ford is who we've got up here right now. And we're waiting for more streamers to come online. I'm just going to set up my stream here. My chat box and everything else has to be broken out, and a few things done here. So as soon as we get that done, then we'll be back here again. So we don't have a whole bunch happening here today, so we'll just give you a slight bit of music here until we can get something else coming on. Need to find my stream. Your channel. News that you can trust. There's my stream. Gotta rename it. Edit video. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching the show. Uh-oh. Sounds like they're playing some music on the stream already. Oh well. Let's see how we can solve that. Whew. Okay, it's nice and quiet out there. Very quiet. It's a very quiet day today. Not a whole lot happening. Just the flags. And us. Okay, we'll get some audio up here for us. We'll spice it up a little bit here. So stick with us for about half a second. And we'll have something interesting on the go here for you. Woohoo! Here we go. course, our window will be all kiboshed here, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. At least we'll hear some action, some convoy talk from none other than the one and only.
The one side of the political spectrum gets to do it when analogizing it, comparing it to debt that someone voluntarily took on to study that which was of interest to them. But we'll get a little.
Have to realize that's 45 million people who are putting off the opportunity to start that business they wanted to start.
I'm sorry. They assume debt to study to put off, what did she say, getting that business, starting that business?
Start that business.
To starting that business that they wanted? These are people, students, who presumably took on that debt to learn something so that they can start that business that they wanted. I mean, unless what Ilhan Omar is saying is they studied something that is so useless to the business that they want to start that it's actually an impediment for them to start that business. I don't know what business she's talking about, but I know there's a lot of people who might actually agree that some of these students have opted to study things which are useless to starting a business. And I'll put myself in that category because I was in that category. Studying philosophy at McGill, for being brutally honest, as we should always be. Well, we're always honest. We should be blunt. Studying philosophy is absolutely useless to starting a business because it's not a trade. It's not a profession. Studying philosophy as an undergraduate degree is about training the mind, learning how to learn, learning how to succeed in university so that you can then take those skills and then presumably go get a second degree, a professional degree, a graduate degree. So you learn how to study, you learn how to do what the teachers want you to do, regurgitate the information that the teachers want you to regurgitate.
Hey.
That's what school is. I mean, despite all the other stuff, that's what school is.
Pretty quiet today.
Studying philosophy
Must have been a big party
is certifiably useless to starting a business.
SL3.
Maybe it will teach you how to think critically. That's true. But in terms of starting a business, you need to learn specific knowledge unique to a business, that business, or business at large. Hence, an MBA. So you go get the philosophy degree, which is useless on its own, except to train you how to think, and then you go get an MBA afterwards. I know the argument. Not everybody has the privilege or the luxury of doing a useless MBA to then get into a professional trade or a professional degree. Then you make those decisions.
Make, Twitter usable.
But the idea that Ilhan Omar is actually saying your degree is useless to starting the business, that's degrading. You're calling someone's degree in philosophy or someone's degree in religious studies useless to starting a business. That's kind of mean.
Putting off the opportunities to start that business they want.
They studied to invest in that business that they wanted to start so that they would be better at it, so they can make money doing it, and then presumably repay the debt that they assumed to get that investment into their education to start that business that they wanted. Moving on.
To start. It is 45 million people who are putting off the opportunity to start the family they want to start.
Having debt precludes you from starting a family.
That is 45 million people.
So that's interesting. I started a family. We were quite heavily in debt at one point in time. So you study something that you get indebted to study, and now you come, I'm not going to say crying in any sense. I appreciate, by the way, education in the United States. Different situation here. I know there's state colleges and colleges that are community colleges that are more affordable, and it might be a case of some people saying, I want to eat the filet mignon, but I don't want to pay for the filet mignon type thing. As if to say also that filet mignon is any, one university or the prestigious ones are actually providing any better education than the community ones. I think people might take issue with that. In some people's minds, it might just be a case of class laundering. It might be a case of elitism that many people complain about, that the good universities don't provide anything better of an education than the state colleges, but they certainly give you a better infrastructure of connections and network so that you can say you're part of the fancy boys club. Like I went to Harvard and whatever. I went to University of Toronto, but I went to Université Laval. So there are, from what I understand, alternatives, but people might be wanting the filet mignon but not paying for it, or they order the filet mignon and then the bill comes like, I can't pay for this. I want filet mignon forgiveness. But the underlying, the truly fundamental underlying question is, why only student debt? Like, why only student debt? I appreciate the argument that education is a right. It should be provided for as affordable as possible, especially to those who don't have the means to pay for it. Because if someone who doesn't have the money to pay for an education can't get an education, that's a vicious circle out of which one can never escape. But as far as I understand, there are alternatives in the States. It's not exactly what in the States everyone thinks that healthcare in Canada is totally free, totally awesome, and that's one of the misconceptions of Americans to Canada. And in Canada, people think like, oh, you can't possibly get an education unless you go to Harvard or spend $40,000 a semester, which is also not the case. So right now we're in this circumstance where the new political token is to say, let's forgive student debt, but no other debt. There's obviously political opportunism there. And why? Because promise to give things for free to a younger generation that doesn't necessarily understand nothing is for free. You can get their vote for now. And then one day they're going to be tax-paying adults and they're going to go, why the heck am I paying 52% in tax? Oh, well, you wanted to forgive your student debt 20 years ago. Now you got to pay for, let's call them people with a freeloading ideology that says, I want to study a degree which might be useless to a business and I want to do it for free. I'm going to get to the actual steelman of why forgiving student debt in particular, as far as I understand it. The question is, though, why only student debt? Why not mortgages? We took out a mortgage on our house. It was big. It was big debt. Big debt that I had to pay for monthly because we chose to live in a house and we chose to try to own with all of the benefits, but all of the pitfalls that come with home ownership. Why not student credit card debt? Why not student clothing? Why not student food? I mean, paying for groceries is very difficult. By the way, the ultimate irony, they're right now, here's the shiny little thing, students. We're going to forgive your student debt. Oh, but by the way, your groceries have gone up 30%. Your gas has gone up 30%. Oh, I'll get that later. Phone's ringing. Your cost of living has gone up. Let's distract you from those consequences. But that's Putin's food price hike. That's Putin's gas price hike.
Hang on a second. We're going to just switch because we brought him up here.
It was a good night of sleep.
Quick feed here.
Yeah, it was an amazing sunset. I woke up this morning at 5:30, kind of awake. I'd gotten enough sleep. I'll tell you about the mischief that happened overnight, but right now, let's see what the weather was. I think it's gonna be a high of like 60 something degrees, and then we got rain coming this afternoon. Yep, today high of 60, low of 39. The rain forecast disappeared. It's just going to get cloudy, but it had like a 30% chance of rain today. But it looks like that's gone now. What we'll do is we'll take take our laundry, we'll take everything and go to Coeur d'Alene and do some laundry and show you guys Coeur d'Alene and see what they have to offer. But
Coeur d'Alene.
last night, the world famous Tucker slept outside in his tent. It's right here, his tent, and he was on his cable. Well, somehow he chewed off the connection on his harness. And was running free this morning. Yeah, he doesn't go anywhere. He stays here. But I was like, how did he do that? Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Now keep in mind, it's a steel connector. But that turd chewed through his harness. Come here, let me have that harness. Come here, Tucker. Let me have that harness. Come here. Let me see. Like,
Bad Tucker. Ate through his harness.
turd chewed through the back
He's got
harness
the
right here.
Fur for that weather.
Chewed it off.
Jeez. How did he reach it?
Or he just yanked on it so hard that it came off. Ow! Oh! Ow!
Okay, I'll be right back. I need a coffee.
So,
I woke up, got everything all going here. Now
who makes that?
things are starting to happen. Let's watch,
now-
listen. We'll be right back.
I'm gonna have to. And then he got into something, and his paws were all black. Just about that much of his feet, just like he was walking through charcoal. Really dark dirt, whatever it was. But so that's been our morning, and it's just been super cold. But yeah, so we're gonna see. But they are taking the day off, giving the drivers, everybody, a day of rest to go do whatever, hang here. Found the bathrooms this morning. They're really nice, some of the nicest bathrooms they've had. Plenty of space for everybody, which is good. They're just, all the way up at the front, so it's kind of a hike to get to the bathroom. But yeah, how you guys all doing this morning? The Wizzy kids in the house. Good morning, y'all. So I downloaded a new app to kind of try to get my system back up and running and run a different system and get away from Prism, because Prism has been acting up and doing some weird things. So I sat here this morning and downloaded the Switcher Studio, and that's what I'm using right now. And it does some cool things. It's got all kinds of fun effects, and so I'm going to play around with that. And it actually has a couple things I really like so far. It has zoom function on the forward camera. I don't know how it does that. That's kind of interesting. But so far so good. So this morning's tests, and so now I've got y'all in Restream, and I can see the chat bigger, which is nice. So it'll move the chat up closer to where I'm at and can see it. Tucker, what are you doing? Did you not get any breakfast yet? No, you got food. StreamYard. No, I don't use StreamYard. It's called Switcher Studio is the app. Why do you use an app and not just live Silkies live? Jenny 2.0 live Silkies. I don't know, Jenny. I haven't seen what you got going on over there. But welcome. Why do you use an app and not just live Silkies? I don't know what that is. But I'm looking to see what that is. I don't know what that is. Now I'm just curious. We're all curious. God, it's so cold. It's not that cold though, which is weird. It's funny. Your channel doesn't even come up. Oh, there it is. Oh, so you have chickens, silkies. It actually, like, cause I was like, silkies refers to chickens, but so you're just live streaming your chickens. That's funny. Who doesn't love chickens? Jenny says, why do you use an app and not just live? Because I go to multiple channels. And then also too is you get a lot of graphics and other things that you can do with the app that you can't do directly from the YouTube live in the app. So that's why I use an app. I've been using Prism, which I liked a lot, but then recently there was an update or something and we kept having sound problems. And then because I have this server that I use, it wasn't interacting with the server and restream very well, so the audio was starting to get popping sounds and sounded like you were underwater. I haven't seen Golden Cherry, but I think he's fine. I saw him roaming around last night. He just got the wind knocked out of him, it looked like. Melanie asked, what time is the rally on Wednesday? I don't know. Usually they do it sometime in the afternoon. I hope at some point they announce that or put that up on their website. Good morning, Terry. Wolf Tracks. I think what you're referring to is there's a mayoral candidate that was downtown campaigning and was attacked by Antifa. They went in and bullied him and made him leave. So, Marcia says, "Do you have their kitchen set up for the canopy, the truck top?" No, I didn't do that. I just did just the top. Ooh, 80s today. That would be a little warm, but it is the wind chill. It's not. It's just the wind is blowing and it's kind of cold, and but a lot of wind noise. Yeah, that's probably quite accurate. We'll have to. This wasn't planned to be a long stream, so it's you won't have to put up with it for very long. But I wanted to do one step at a time, and right now I'm just using the phone mic and the camera and just trying to get everything working. And
good morning, everyone in the chat.
Yeah, and then
not ignoring you.
Figure out what that system is, and it's actually quite easy. So it's just the back end stuff that I have to do, which is no big deal either. And in fact, like I could end the stream, but it wouldn't end because the server would keep it up. But you know, and if I have again, as we're driving, and if we lose cellular connection, it won't drop the stream, which is nice. I know you guys get the Be Right Back screen, and I may have to sort of change that up, or you know, give Bones maybe some options that maybe, you know, if I'm going to be gone for a while, that she can replay some stuff or whatever. You know, we can do that. You know, ultimately what it allows us to do is not drop the stream. And if the stream gets so bad, then you know,
hey, everyone that's watching Tommy Temper, please give us a thumbs up.
Potentially, like if you miss something,
and
hit stop here.
Share is really, really important.
And then load the asset back in and replay it for you from the phone. that way too. So there's
There,
a lot of ways that we can
I'll give
deal
the
with
video
the
a
drops.
thumbs up. 35
it's
thumbs up,
maintaining the
45
stream
people
that I
watching.
think is important, so that you guys don't have to keep finding, you know, the new feed and whatnot. Yeah. So, but before I was just having problems with the audio, and the audio would go bad from the phone. So it was preventing me from continuing to use that. But and the consistency is also something that I wanted to fix. Brenda says no sound. Well, Brenda, you're the only one. I think it might be on your end. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's something. How is the guy that fell off? Kathy, apparently he's fine. He just got the wind knocked out of him, and but I will, when I see him this morning, I will ask him how he's doing. Yeah. I need a fire. That would be nice right now. A little fire pit. But tent was great. I slept great. It was just this morning getting up and getting out that it was a little cold. Laura, that's because they're racist. Drivers meeting? Not last night. They didn't do a meeting. I asked G last night on stream, and he said no meeting, and today was going to be an off day. So yeah, that was that. No, right now there's no dead cat on my mic because it's just the iPhone. You know, the iPhone doesn't really have any protection, but yeah, it will. Yeah, we'll have the rig and the audio and everything up and going later. Tell the question, not everyone on Discord. I'm not in Discord. I'm reading your comments. So I'm answering comments that came in. But what I realize is, you know, if it didn't, you're watching on Facebook and you're not seeing the YouTube comments. I will. That's a
once
good
again, good morning to everyone. Viet Veteran, thanks for popping in. John Wayne, MC,
so you know
Kenny, good afternoon,
about.
good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Wizzy.
Melody.
I sent you the link for
Looking
Wolf
good.
Lodge.
Love the lost video.
Oh,
Good
the indoor
morning,
water park.
Carl.
I'm familiar with
Hey,
Wolf Lodge.
everyone
I
in
was
the
telling
room. If you're
Sparrow
new in
about it
here,
the
if you haven't
other
been
day.
in here before, good morning. My name's Tommy Temper. We're up here in the corner, and this is our show.
For all your hard work yesterday driving.
What wedding are they talking about?
Rest well, ready for the rally on
Somebody yesterday.
Wednesday.
There was some matchmaking
There you go.
going on, and
A little
I was
bit of sound from
joking
Zello.
about that, and then the discussion was it takes about 10 minutes to be ordained, that I could marry them, and that was the joke. He seems he is not talking. I am not.
42 thumbs up, 42 people in the room.
I had Bones on the phone when I first
thank you.
got started because they're monitoring what I'm doing right now, just testing this out.
Carl says, God bless. You betcha.
You need a hot cup of coffee.
Everyone out
Guess
there.
what? There it is.
And we'll have a little drink here.
It's actually my second
Exactly.
cup. I've been having
with
some
WYSIWYG
coffee
there this morning. A little sip, coffee cup.
Wolf
tea or
Lodge.
whatever you're
Yes,
drinking.
that's the place where I was
Here, we'll
telling
drink with you this morning. Good morning.
Captain Sparrow we're going to go have. They have really good Rocky Mountain oysters, so we're going to go there. Give me one second. Be right back.
Tonight, recuperating and enjoying hot running water.
Okay.
sorry. Just cold, man. But yeah, that Wolf Lodge, I ate here last time I was in Coeur d'Alene, and it is a fantastic steakhouse. And it just so happened that night, the head chef was bartending, filling
That's
a
where they're
vacancy.
located right now.
And
Findlay
he
Stadium
and I sat
at the
and
state line.
chatted for a long time, and yeah, it was great food. Excellent steak, excellent Rocky Mountain oysters, which I'd never had before.
There's the state line that they're on. Washington, Idaho.
Oh,
And here
okay.
we can see the
well,
route that they
there
took
you go.
yesterday.
Special K, you know more than I do. Thank you. Thank you for yelling at me about that.
Came from here
Like
over
I
to
said,
here.
when I talked to him yesterday, he told me it was fine. That it was okay. And so, yeah, there you go.
Bring her into the other mode. Okay, so that's where they're at right now, and we'll give you an update on where they're going to be heading to today
when I was jamming the camera.
as that information becomes available.
Yeah. Jeannie, they were delicious.
Brenda Decker, good morning. Elaine Miller,
yeah.
Maria Sanchez says, good morning, Tommy Tipper.
I've told you before.
I hope you get more subscribers. You're always on way before Friday.
Because I saw him on the menu and I was asking the bartender. He goes, "Well, I got to be honest, it's my recipe, but I think it's the best recipe
actually, what
you'll
we're trying to
ever
do is we're trying to hit 2,000.
Sure
That's
enough,
our mark
they were
for today.
delicious.
And look at our numbers. We're at
I ate them all.
1.97. So we're so close. That's like 1,970. So if we get like about 30 more subscribers today, we'll be over 2,000. So that's what we're trying to do. The only way we can do that is by the people that are in here, is by sharing out to friends, and maybe a friend seeing it and hopping in, saying hello.
Worked at Wolf. It is a great place. Yep. I
But other than that, we won't dwell on that. Let's listen and find out what's happening with the convoy. That's what I want to find out.
There is a live stream.
If anyone has the info as to where they're going today. The only info I have is this. Let me fly it in here. This, and then if we go to their actual website,
look back over your screen from yesterday.
We can see if there's anything in there, but
Willie says, look back over your screen from yesterday. It looked like an angle flying over the top, an eagle flying over the top
if they have any wording
in the clouds. Freedom. Yeah, it was a hawk that flew in, kind of dive bombed and went through the frame. I figured it would have been really quick.
For where they're at now.
I had asked if anybody else
State
had
Line
seen
Speedway is where they're ending up here. So we'll watch for an update here and see if we can give you an update as to where they're going to be at.
I didn't know they had deep fried
heading
feta.
Toward today.
It was delicious. White House Grill was really good. I had
so far it's like
9:30
in the morning.
Turkish plate.
And we don't see any action
looked
there.
amazing, and then I started just perusing the menu to see what else they did, and I found this dish that was like
Maria
pasta.
Says they're having a rest day.
You can almost describe it as like a French onion soup
sauce a few days? Okay,
that had lamb and mushrooms and onions. It was amazing.
Today they're not really going to be moving anywhere.
It was absolutely delicious.
We'll watch for more feeds coming on from that location.
Absolutely delicious.
Actually, Wizzy said something about Coeur d'Alene. That he might take a trip to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So maybe a side trip or something today. That sounds good. Sherry Palmer.
Sam on YouTube. Who is Doe?
Good morning. Good morning to
Doe's
everyone.
Nobody. I wouldn't even give him the time of day.
I'm having a good day. I hope you are. I hope everyone's having a good day out there.
Is all he is.
Even if you're feeling a little bit achy, a little bit forlorn, a little bit languishing. Hey, pop in, check out what's happening here. We'll get your spirits up a little bit here. We'll get the party rolling first thing in the morning.
He's sitting underneath the truck.
Sounding good.
He's halfway between myself and Captain Sparrow, keeping an eye on both of us so we don't go anywhere.
Yep,
If
we'll
one
get
of
your
us gets up
spirits
to
up.
move, he's going.
Have a sip of that coffee.
So
Get those
he's-
cobwebs out of your eyes. Clear up your mind. Ah, it feels so good. Have a sip of something, anything. Tea in my case. I made a little cup of matcha tea.
Shut the door on that.
The only thing I
That's
don't
right.
like about my matcha tea is I mixed some like coffee whitener with some this fake sugar.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called there. You know, there's so many different kinds of fake sugar. Splenda or something. I think it was
Thumper.
Splenda.
You got it. I will.
But I mixed that with that, and I don't know, that
minutes.
fake sugar, it almost makes me want to throw up. I don't know why. But, you know, I suffer with it because I have to add a little bit of sweetener to what I drink in the morning.
Been on touch this weekend.
But I don't want to add sugar.
Where are you guys at and where are you
but
all
that
headed?
Splenda gives
Tammy
me kind of a
asked where
feeling
we're
I
at
want
and
to
where we're
throw
headed.
up.
Right now we're in Post Falls, Idaho. We got here last night, yesterday afternoon, about 5 o'clock. I rolled in, and the convoy wasn't too far behind. I think they got here closer to 6. This is called the State Line Speedway. It's a beautiful little concrete oval track and partial junkyard and used car sales. Really nice property they've got here. Lovely bathrooms. We're going to stay here till Thursday.
WYSIWYG always
Wednesday,
goes on adventures
they are
when the
going to do
convoy
a
has
rally
rest days.
here.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of locals that were out here yesterday waiting.
Remember when he
on
went?
The,
well, actually, he was traveling with the convoy, and he went to see the
I don't know
border
what else
wall.
they've got planned for the days that they're here. Today is an off day. We are about halfway between Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, Washington.
50 people watching. Thank you very much for watching.
Idaho
Please give us a quick
thumbs up
if you're new in the room.
Live stream and have some fun. See the lake.
Quick sub. We're looking to get 2,000 subs.
And have some
Unfortunately, I'm going
food,
to be
do
pushing
some
that
laundry.
today because we need to get 2,000.
Trying to show you, it's an
That's our
amazing
goal.
town. I don't want to oversell it.
They're staying till
saw it for the
Thursday
first
morning.
time,
Going to be a big
last
rally
year,
Wednesday night.
And
Gotcha.
I thought, wow, this place
Gotcha.
is
Planned
really
rally.
incredible.
That's good. Plan it
I
ahead of
didn't know
time.
it
Now we know
existed,
what's happening.
and,
Let all the people know. So a whole bunch of people
we'll
in there
give
can
you
show
a
up.
look at that and see what town has to offer. And then Thursday,
If anyone sees anyone else going live, please pop the link or let me know who it is. I'm watching. I see Grey Wolf has gone live.
Are we going
See if
across
we can
the
pull
border?
him up here.
I don't believe they have any intention.
Grey Wolf is traveling down the road.
So keep that in mind. I think we're just going to.
So he's not with the convoy.
Of Canada.
Good morning.
So
Good
we'll see where
morning.
that is and what that involves. But
It's nice to see you this morning. Let me adjust that volume.
Chad, thank you so much. Very much.
Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Better. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay.
Sherry says gas. Thank you very much for your very generous PayPal. I appreciate you.
We won't bother you too much.
Guys. Overwhelmingly
Sherry
incredible.
Palmer. Such a good mod. In here bright and early, just like Broken Patriot.
Loretta
Broken Patriot
on
is
the WYSIWYG email.
Yep. Let's have a sip of that coffee together
Can
there,
you
Broken
get
Patriot.
to live streaming by Chris at your website? Or do you have to search YouTube or Twitch every time? Prefer YouTube over Twitch, as Twitch is a pain in the black.
Get a little liquid into your warm up here.
Thank you. You actually reminded me. I probably
like
need to change.
Eating some
I probably
stew
need
or
to
something.
change the link on the website.
Warm up your
it probably
insides.
takes you directly to the WYSIWYG TV website.
Wake up your mind.
Or on the WYSIWYG TV YouTube. If you click on the YouTube icon, and it should take you to the WYSIWYG TV.
Sherry
Shorts
says
channel.
they're currently at Findlay Stadium, State Line Speedway, 1349 North Beck.
I will have to respond back
in
to
Post Falls,
Loretta,
Idaho.
Because
right at that location.
I know that there's ways on YouTube that obviously you get alerts when we go live.
Okay, so they're going to be staying at that location. Is the word?
But for some reason she's having
Doing
some
their thing.
technical difficulties finding the live streams, which it shouldn't be that hard, but you know, I can hear some of you already.
Hard to find the live streams. Just go to their channel.
Calling that
Once you're on their channel,
shadow
then
banning
just go
and
click
whatnot,
videos,
but,
and then you'll see what's live.
No, it's just because we've been doing this other thing. I don't know if Karen's here, but last night she sent a really beautiful, incredible PayPal donation. I just wanted to make sure I get to say thank you to Karen.
DC Convoy 22.
It's
Hey everyone, good morning. Tommy Temper Show is up live there.
You guys
you
are
want
amazing.
to check
We're
us
gonna
out
have
on
a
YouTube,
lot of
Tommy
fun
Temper.
today. Hopefully warm fun. There's a good chance the sun is trying to come out up here. The clouds aren't really thick, but it's saying it's going to be a cloudy day, high of 60. But I'm going to end the stream, get myself dressed, get us situated, and we're going to head out about Coeur d'Alene.
Good morning, Deco. Nice to see you in here. I rarely come in here and talk, but we do listen once in a while because we're always up on the show. We're live right now on the air.
Awesome.
You want to say anything to anyone?
Very kind, very generous. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys are enjoying WYSIWYG and what we're doing.
Oh, that's funny. Caught me by surprise. Yeah. Okay, very good. You guys have a good day out there today. It's going to be a slow day. Everyone's going to do what they want to do, and we'll be watching. Thanks a lot for doing everything you do, people. Great job.
Everything's charged up and ready to go. New phone system.
One, two,
that's
three.
Going to be just fine. So we're off to a great start, and
everyone on Zello is up and at 'em and anxious, and they've got the gusto and the go, and they're having fun on Zello. Check out Zello. It's the app, ZELLO on your smartphone. Look it up in the
incredible
App Store.
Beautiful city of Coeur d'Alene.
Once you're on there, find the channel called People's Convoy. Capital P, capital C.
But
just like in the streamer. If you look down below here,
Idaho,
in the Tommy Temper ticker tape,
Canadian border, and
we kind of give you information on Zello and the channel. So just check that out. Also, check out the streamers on the ticker tape.
Maybe we'll
Those
take
are
a
a lot
drive
of the people
up the mountain,
stream regularly.
the road. There's all kinds of possibilities today.
They will be departing on the morning of the 5th.
We'll explore all of those and yeah, see what the day brings. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye, but I'll be back with you in a little bit. Hit the subscribe and the bell and all that stuff, and make sure the bell's set to all when we go live, and can find us real easy. So,
copy that.
Thanks,
Today's
everybody.
the 2nd.
We'll sign off for now.
And
I have to go onto the remote here now, which I forget every time.
oh, okay. Let me fix this first before we get too rambunctious here.
Parliamentarians' salaries while they were shutting down the country. You want to shut down the country? You want to put people out of work? Fine. You take the same pay cut. What do the members of Parliament do? They what do? They shut down his, I'm going to ask him more on Friday, but they shut down his bill and then voted to suspend his salary. They knew it wasn't going to pass either, but that's how they said, F you. You want to try to mess with our salaries, we'll mess with yours. My question, though, is if you have principles and you want to affect change, I know what the answer is going to be, but my question is that if you have principles, you're running with a party without principles. The argument is going to be, well, we want to change the party, so we need to change it from within. And I'm going to answer to you, you don't get a vote on promises. You get a vote on action. Anyway, we'll talk. Roman Baber's coming on Friday, so stay tuned. And we got, has anyone heard what happened to the other man in the horse trampling? No one speaks about it. There was a rumor. This was a gentleman. I think he was wearing a brown jacket. There was a rumor that he had been killed. He didn't. There was an individual who did have a heart attack at the protest, but the other individual who was struck by a horse as well did not succumb to those injuries. Nearly all politicians are members of the WEF, World Economic Forum. Anyone associated with that is not to be trusted under any circumstances. Funny you should mention that, by the way. Let me just see if I have something here. You remember, I've been giving, what's his face? Jim Watson a hard time recently. He deserves it.
So we're asking.
Okay, let's get this
He deserves
update
it
here
because he says
from
absolutely
Sherry Palmer.
insufferably idiotic and
Stand by a second here. Okay, so Sherry Palmer is saying, and today is the 2nd, by the way, just to give you an update. Today's Monday, the 2nd. So they'll be departing on the morning of the 5th, which is going to be Thursday. There's going to be a rally on Wednesday, the 4th, at 6 p.m. Guest speakers are Heart of Hope
Someone did
Health,
say something interesting.
Mariah Kaysen,
If you look down at
Sonia
the Ottawa
Cisco,
sign,
Dr. Duke
it
Johnson,
does look like
Trucker
something.
G,
It looks like
David
a letter,
Riddell,
and there seems to be
Santa,
three-
and Marcus S.
I know, okay, fine. I don't want to get into that type of stuff.
And
Someone did
Sherry
notice it,
says,
now I
woohoo,
can't
give a
unsee it
shout
since
out
the person
to
mentioned it.
Glenn Gather,
That's what Jim Watson
owner of the
said.
New York
And I said, oh, Jim, amazing. how Jim Watson
Pizza
condemns in advance fabricated imaginings of racist, sexist, and homophobic incidents
on
that never actually occurred at the
4380
Ottawa trucker
West
protest.
Riverbend
It remains
Ave,
totally
Post Falls,
silent on
Indiana.
actual
He'll be providing
concrete
pizza, salad, and soda
documented incidents
for the
of police
convoy
brutality.
at 3 p.m. today at
I'm gonna
this
open a
location.
second parenthesis here, 'cause
Cool.
this is the danger of
4380 West Riverbend
read someone's
Avenue.
response
Let's
to this,
get that information
and
out.
here it was. It says, reaching a new level of corruption. That's not the
10-4. The other information here today is at 3 o'clock today.
Here we go. So this guy
The
writes,
New
John
York
Coffey.
Pizza
So you mean the
at
stuff we made up and never happened?
4380
Keep the narrative going.
Riverbend
I first
Ave,
read this, I
Post
was like,
Falls,
what's he talking
Indiana,
about me?
will
About the
providing
police?
pizza, salad, and soda for the
But no, he's
convoy
talking-
at
it's
3
just how
p.m.
amazing how things can be
Again,
misinterpreted
at
on
New
Twitter.
York Pizza,
Let me see if someone else
4380
misunderstood what he
Riverbend
intended
Ave,
to
Post
say.
Falls,
Yeah,
Indiana.
are you
Will be free
referring to
pizza
Beavis
for
claims of
the
violence against
convoy
protesters or
at
the
3
mayor's
p.m.
denial?
today.
I think he's referring to the mayor. The only way I can know that is I go click on John, and he seems to be a follower and seems to be. Oh, I can't see who's following here. It's got the
So
Canadian flag. I presume he's talking about
that's
Jim
cool.
Watson's absolute fabrication of stuff that never happened to keep the narrative
You
going.
are a wealth
But it's
of
just funny how things can be
information and so
misunderstood to
concise in
lead
everything
to
you
unnecessary strife and disagreement
give
in the
out
Twitterverse.
for us
Almost like,
to know. So
almost
you
like it's
guys
by
really,
design.
you can't
But,
go.
so I was giving him a bit of a hard time on that because
Yeah.
it's patently absurd,
Ship me a
fabricated
slice of
nonsense.
pizza as well to
And then
Scotland.
look what I just. I mean, it's just funny.
That's funny.
There's no description.
The guy that's listening in Scotland says he wants a bite of pizza too. So
I don't know if the World Economic
That's
Forum
funny.
just picks people and puts
the
them on their
world is
website,
connected, people.
and if they don't ask to be removed or they don't know, they just keep them there and they look like a legit international reputable institution. I don't know. Or I don't know if Jim Watson actually has some form of affiliation to the World Economic Forum, like so many others in Canadian politics, including Chrystia Freeland.
I hate to see it happen. But that's
WEF?
the way things work.
Chrystia Freeland, she's got more than just her name and position.
Let's get that right along,
She-
gang. Copy that.
I reject all of your cookies. World Economic. She
Right
is a
along,
member
gang.
of the
We'll be up
forum's
right away.
board of trustees.
Hello, Deborah.
A little more than just
Deborah
a,
Walker,
a name
nice
with
to
nothing.
see ya.
But why is Jim Watson on the World
Fabulous
Economic Forum
mods,
website?
absolutely.
Why is
I
Chrystia
don't
Freeland
talk enough about
on the
the
board of
mods,
trustees of the World
but
Economic
this
Forum?
channel wouldn't be here if it
She
wasn't for the
represents
mods.
Canada and
They're
Canadians,
the ones that
not the World Economic
keep the
Forum,
chat
not
nice
the
and
interests of the
clear,
World Economic Forum.
available for everyone to use.
Anyhow, turns out Jim Watson's there too, for whatever the reason.
Thank you,
Jim's
mods,
on it.
and everyone that popped in the room.
Oh,
Really appreciate it.
I see. Oh, hi, Jim. Goodbye. So yeah, interesting.
see if I can get
I don't
that,
understand how it
right
happens. I
along
don't understand why it's
link
happening. I don't understand what
operational.
it means. I just don't like it. I know that I don't like it, in as much as I don't understand a lot of stuff about how, why, and what. But it doesn't look good. It doesn't smell good, and I don't like it.
By the way, Polish
I know
Agnes
what
was
you're
in the
doing
room there
right now,
yesterday.
and I
We were
don't
chatting with her.
Who gets the movie?
So that's the nice thing about
Sing must
Tommy
be
Temper here.
compelled to break with these.
Once in a while you
Sing
get
is a WEFer.
some of the streamers that aren't streaming pop in here to see what's happening
Sing-
with the other streamers.
Hold
so
on.
It's kind of cool.
Sing is one of the young global leaders. Let me just show everybody so that nobody accuses me of making something up. Which one? I got to get this from. Oh, crap. Let me open up another window. Hold on. No. We have time.
Thank you.
What I love about these live streams is the pace is a little slower.
Copy
can
that.
have
We're
a
doing
few
the show, but
seconds
we heard you in
of
the background.
silence.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Jagmeet
Appreciate that.
Singh, WEF. Got a very, very nice bio. The
Right
WEF
along, gang.
is doing good by Jagmeet Singh. And his pronunciation of his name is Jagmeet, and oh, here we go.
And it's all appreciated.
And just to show my homework, people.
Very good. Very
Just
good.
to show
Everyone
my
is in a
homework,
really good mood here
You go
today.
to Google, you click on the link, it's there. Jagmeet Singh was, and look at this beautiful bio. Why is Jagmeet Singh on the WEF website? Does the WEF think that they are the government of Canada? Like, it's one thing, either they think that they are the platform to host our elected officials, so they somehow represent or have anything to do with Canada, or our elected officials are going and pledging loyalties or providing loyalties to an international organization that has no elected business in our country. It has no elected influence in our country. It has no business in our country or in our politics. Jagmeet Singh is there too. Don't know who didn't know that. Okay, so Pierre Trudeau, founding member of Club Rome. Yeah, I don't know enough about that. I know Robert talked about that.
See if we can get right along, gang, up
is.
here. Took me long enough.
Spoke about you, Agent.
Right.
Spoke
along,
about you
gang.
and Rebel C11. Have you spoken in depth yet? God bless your family from Barrie, Ontario. Siri Alexanderful. I think I'm going to do a piece with Alexa. She asked, my opinion on my concerns about Bill.
There we go.
Oh no, it was Bill 15 in Quebec. C11 is the one that wants to regulate it's Bill C10's, bigger sibling now. Olivia Lucia, thank you very much. And accuse your opponent of what you are doing to create confusion and to inculcate voters against evidence of your own guilt. I looked this up. I'm not your guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy guy. I don't think it was Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. I think the accuse your opponents of doing what you are doing is actually Joseph Goebbels, the guy, the Nazi propaganda minister.
Okay, what you looking at here? You've got Viva Frey,
I don't
very
think
famous.
It was one of the 13 rules for radicals.
Always talks legalese.
But I only learned that because someone challenged me on that, and then I learned.
Freedom Forward up in the corner with the flags. You've got Grey Wolf riding down the freeway. You've got Ride Along Gang with the view.
From the CPC's point of view, he's their best bet.
At the Speedway. And again, Freedom Forward on the side here.
No, I like him. He's definitely smart. He's definitely sharp, and he definitely, gave Trudeau the hardest time for all of his chicanery. But he's still running with that party that supported vaccine passports, supported lockdowns, supports the Paris Accord, supports carbon taxes. The party is no different than the Liberals. I don't care. They're as woke as anybody else. I don't know that what Pierre Poilievre, you don't change the party as the leader. The party will get what it wants. And if it doesn't want Pierre Poilievre, by the way, they're going to screw him out of the leadership. Because politics is filthier than a metro pole, a subway hand pull thing.
We are.
It is. And those are dirty. Filthy.
Maybe.
What else do we got here? WEF is the government of the world. No, it's funny. 2 years ago, I didn't know what the WEF was. 2 years ago, someone said the Great Reset or you'll own nothing. I remember the way my initial reactions. It's all out there, and then it just becomes fact. It just becomes accepted fact. Oh, I just saw a new member come. Where's it? Well, there we go. Here we are. Pete Collins, welcome. I don't have a bell or anything. Ding, 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 ding. All right. So that's what's going on there.
Once again, this is where the convoy is right now. Just to give you an update, Findlay
I want to show you
Stadium.
one thing from the trial. Hold on, let me get to my.
And the Findlay Stadium is right on the border between Idaho.
Well, there's the Rachel Levine
Washington.
Story.
There's a little sliver of Idaho right in here.
I'll share this because I'm going to poke a little fun at Fox News.
So they're right on that border right there.
Fun at Fox News.
So it's not a very famous location.
Rachel Levine,
but it is very, very close to Coeur d'Alene.
Chief,
so Coeur d'Alene is kind of the most major city close to where they're at, and they're just before
Rachel Levine says pediatricians all agree on gender-affirming care, which according to Fox News, first of all, guys, I don't like people using deliberately unflattering pictures regardless, and I in as much as possible, try not to use deliberately unflattering pictures because it cheapens the message and it looks like instead of being a legitimate critique piece, it's just a hit piece. This is an unflattering picture. Fox can probably do better than that, just in terms of like, you don't want people discrediting.
I'm trying to get back adjusted to home life, trying to sort out everything I brought back with me from Hagerstown, and I had a lot, and I'm going to try to sort things out and see where things go from here. So let me know how y'all doing out there, folks.
That was higher 420.
So take it with whatever grain of salt you want to take it with.
He was at Hagerstown the whole time,
surgery,
and he stayed at Hagerstown when the rest of the convoy left, and he's now at home.
And that is
and he was just chiming in there on Zello.
She's the head of HHS. Assistant Secretary of Health Rachel Levine, the highest-ranking transgender person in the U.S. government, claimed during a recent interview with NPR that there is no argument about gender-affirming care among pediatricians and doctors who specialize in adolescents. By the way, if any, this is not true, because I happen to know some doctors, pediatricians who will disagree with this. Even if it were true, unanimity among science is not a good thing.
Deborah, we don't know if they're going to meet up with Canadian truckers.
And ideology has infiltrated science,
I haven't heard
which is
anything
always supposed to be questioning, always supposed to be open for debate and discussion, and always supposed to be ultimately about bettering the process and coming to the right answer and not heeding to dogma. Levine made the comments ahead of a Saturday speech at a Texas Christian university, during which Levine blamed the high rate of bad ideations among transgender on harassment, scapegoating, and intentional abuse, according to a prepared remarks given to the NPR. This, I mean,
very nice to see.
We know for a fact that this statement ignores stats that come after any gender-affirming care that some may have been provided, and so the statistic to which Levine is referring is inconsistent, because I believe the same stat is true even after gender-affirming care. In which case, draw your own conclusions. I'm not a scientist or a pediatrician.
You betcha, there, Deborah.
Ugh, I don't want to see that. I don't have toenail fungus, people. I don't know why that ad's coming up. Anyways, it's oh, here, and then we go. According to definitions laid out in a fact sheet from Levine's Department of Health and Human Services in March, gender-affirming care includes social affirmation at any age, puberty blockers during puberty, hormone therapy starting during early adolescence.
This morning,
irreversible surgery is typically used in adulthood or case-by-case basis in adolescence, according to the agency.
Here, we'll give a horn here first thing in the morning.
I'm trying to conceptualize when, if ever, irreversible surgery in adolescence could ever be anything other than something that should never be authorized or allowed in law or recommended by any doctor. I'm having difficulty. I'm just thinking of a case where anyone can say a child wants to do something to their body, a child which they're recognizing is young, unable to consent of their own accord, hence they're minors, and hence they rely on their parents, or sometimes the government if the parents want to do something irreparable or irreversible or illegal.
Levine needs to milk a bull or try squeezing
I have trouble
an egg out of a rooster.
Conceiving or conceptualizing of any circumstance where irreversible surgery could be and say physiologically unnecessary surgery. Psychologically, there's an argument. I'm not sure that the surgery is going to quell or ultimately resolve any of the psychological issues, but physiologically unnecessary surgery. This is it's not a malignant tumor. It's not a testicular torsion. It's not a hernia. This is not something that's needed to be done to resume proper functioning of the body. Some might even say quite to the contrary.
I need a Nightbot.
And I'm having trouble thinking of a case where this could or should ever be justified on a minor.
How do people put
even if a doctor
Nightbots or bots
specializing
on their
in this says it's in the child's best interest? It's such a and that this has become the litmus test issue of modern discourse. You go to Levine's Twitter feed, you would think that Levine's only purpose
Baba Yaga
in the position as assistant director of HHS is only this one issue.
No, maybe not.
It's you would think. I went through it. It's surreal. It's surreal. I don't know what this is. You would think that this is the only issue and the biggest issue facing America these days. But what has turned into a political wedge issue is typically disproportionate to the amount of people that it actually affects. It's just it's easy political litmus test, divide and conquer, and everybody agrees. Everybody agrees. I mean, it's everybody agrees that irreversible surgery could, in theory, in some cases, be authorized on a minor.
Thank you for watching.
If
We're
all
bringing the feed
pediatricians
here,
agreed
Viva
with
Frey.
that, I
He's just giving a
would
little
be
bit of
shocked, and I
voiceover
would have
until
some
we get
serious
more
questions
action
for the field of
happening
podiatry.
out on the scene there. We have a little bit
Oh,
happening
yo,
with
what's
Ride Along
happening,
Gang.
Elviva, came from Stick Stream. Well, welcome, Mr. Wonderful. I didn't know Sticks was live streaming.
Hang on a second. I don't think they're saying anything, but
Okay, like I said, if you can't hear the other people talking, yeah, that's what we're going to right now is the meeting. If you can't hear them talking, I will turn the Bluetooth off.
looks like they have something going on. We'll get back there.
Circumcision,
Get back to
I
Viva.
appreciate the argument. People say it's a form of genital defacement. People, the circumcision is the most borderline of borderline cases in that it doesn't impede any proper functioning.
Let's
At least
6'5", 6'6".
we'll bring you over here just
Yeah.
because this is a
uncle, he was
Convoy
6'8".
feed. If you want to watch Viva, head
He,
over to his channel.
Before he
Viva
passed
Frey,
away, his
F-R-E-I.
bedroom door, he had a set of longhorns that he had hung up over him. And when he walked through doors, and he'd have to tilt his head a little bit, but he took a picture one time right there in front of his doorway, and the horns looked like they sat right on his head.
We're listening to Ride Along Gang. Most of the time, they are not with the convoy. They are mostly riding along the countryside. But today they actually
I think he was 6'10".
are at the convoy.
Cousin was 6'8". I don't know how I managed to get so small. All right, I'm gonna walk on up here. Can you guys hear?
Oh, it might have hurt at the time, but after, you won't notice it. You probably didn't notice. You won't notice. You'll live your life without even knowing it, that it had happened if you didn't know anything about it.
Amen. State of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Canadian meeting is literally, it's up to them right now. It is not looking good. Sadly, it's not looking good. They've had a lot of things going on up here in the past few days, as many of you are aware of. We understand that. We're still 100% in support of our Canadian brothers and sisters. If we can make that happen further down the road, we want to make that happen. It may not be the whole convoy swings up to them. Depending on how many people join us over the next few days, we'll try to send maybe a contingent up to them to meet with them and show our solidarity with them in that way. And we want to do that. You know, we can never take away from the fact they started this. Well, actually, those out of control governments started this. They just started our portion of it. Never forget, guys, we're not the bad guys here. They're going to try to paint you as you're the rebels. We're standing for what we've always had. They are the rebels against our Constitution and our freedoms. We're on the side of right. We're not on the side of wrong. I don't care what they say about it. Words do not matter. The facts do. Alright? Got it out with the guy last night on my live stream. Got a little bit condescending about it. Probably shouldn't have went that way. I said the right thing, I just said it the wrong way. I talked to him like he's a little child. I'm not sure he might have been. I feel bad that I lowered myself, to that level. After I went back and watched it again last night, because I usually don't watch my stuff, but last night I need to watch that. You only get better by admitting your faults. There's that. We are, I have somebody that is working on logistics to set us up. Raptor, where you at? Oh, there. Raptor here. Bless his heart. Camaro Bandit. Camaro Patriot. He is going to actually run ahead about 2 to 3 days out. And with a person on the East Coast that is splitting up venues as we go. So when we start to roll in, everything should go smooth. Keyword, should. You guys know that this thing is about ready to blow out. I really feel that in my heart of hearts. This thing is about ready to blow out. Because everybody is starting to get the idea that we're not going back in like we left. We're not going back in like we went in the first time. This is go time, guys. All of you guys who are doing this right now, I want you to know that. This is not the same convoy that we rode around DC with the first time. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. I understand that. But now is the time that we make up our minds that this is what we got to do. We tried it. We tried it the passive way the first time. They mocked us. They laughed at us. They cast us aside. They said they run us out of town.
Yeah.
Okay. We're back.
We're back.
I got on my live stream the other night and said, and listen, I don't even care anymore. I don't even care anymore. Guy got on my live stream and said, you ain't going to do anything when you get to see DC. I said, okay. I'm not even debating with you. I said what we're going to do. I'm going to do it. If all of you go with me, or I go by myself, I'm going to do it. That's the bottom line. I am doing this because if we don't do this, the next step is unacceptable to me. I do not want to see us go to that next step. And all them politicians that are sitting over there thinking that they can laugh us off, please get with us, because you don't want it to go to the next step. I am a peaceful man. I have lived my entire life as a peaceful man. I will die as a peaceful man. But I am coming to Washington, D.C., and I believe there's going to be thousands of people follow that, not me, but follow that idea that we're here to be heard. We will be heard. We're going to stay peaceful. I'm going to reiterate this over and over and over because I see all these cameras, and I want this video out there of me saying we're going to be peaceful. We're not coming to overthrow the government. We're coming to be heard by the people that say they represent us, but they don't. Over and over and over throughout this entire trip, over the next 9 or 10 days, I'm going to say that very same thing. Because I know these scumbags, what they want to do is label us as anarchists and label us as insurrectionists. And I don't want to be in the gulag for something I didn't do. I just don't want, and you know what, guys? Face that fact. You know who we're fighting.
Shop bids.
You know who we're going against. Just like we've told you about when we go into a dangerous Antifa area, I've been very open about it. The chances of you getting hurt are really great. All right? We don't need any fearful hearts following in this convoy right now. But if you've got guts and you've got teeth, you've got a pair, then come out and join us, because we need those kinds of people.
Yes.
I'm getting sick and tired of the women having more than the men. It just had to be said.
Don't piss off the mothers.
We went to that rally
Put that out
Saturday.
there.
Yeah, don't piss off the mothers. I'm telling you.
They were
Mama
mothers.
bears.
She had more backbone than a lot of the men that wear flags on their shirts and 2AT shirts and don't tread on me. It's about time us men stand up. We're the men, for crying out loud.
Amen.
This is our job. It's what God created us to do. Is to stand up for our families and our freedom and our nation.
Yeah.
And again, we're not the bad guys here.
Right.
We're standing up for what our founding fathers gave us. They're the ones trying to pervert that and take it away from us. They are the enemy. They are the bad guys, not me. Get that through your mind. All right?
BLM is old.
Anyway.
It's history gone. There are very few supporters. So like BLM is apparently too tainted by their organizers that stole money. Well, maybe they didn't steal, but they legally absconded with funds. I don't know if they legally did it or not, but hey, when the owners of the group end up with mansions and you paid for it, well, go ahead, keep donating.
Just one of those who are working together to make this thing all come together, all right? Since I am the best looking, they put me out in front as
Okay.
Yeah, but shot bids. Antifa is a generic term for a lefty, in case you didn't know. Like it has become a generic term for like a fascist lefty is known as Antifa, and like it's a generic term for fascist lefties, basically. It's morphed into that. Let's call it what it is.
New York pizza.
So I don't care whether you're a kid standing there throwing an egg at a right-wing person, or whether you're dressed in black bloc. You're still generically going to be termed Antifa.
After we're done at the pizza place today at 6 p.m., there's going to be church services at his church.
Sorry about that.
And anybody that wants to go is welcome to go. I will be going.
Yes.
So anybody that wants to go to that service, 6 p.m., after we leave the pizza place, come on out, join in with us.
They're going to have free pizza at 3 o'clock today.
And you can find the...
They go to the New York pizza joint.
What's the name of the city? It's weird.
Go get Allie, Kat.
Arlene?
Because she's got the screenshot of that. Freaking,
Say it again?
what I need to
Post Falls, but it's Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene. That's where it's at. Okay.
Coeur d'Alene?
The altar, yes.
Coeur d'Alene. So you can look that up. Any other housekeeping business?
Pretty much get some rest, guys. I mean, we know we had a long day yesterday.
I like that. Antifa is what Biden said. Antifa isn't a thing, is what Biden said. It's funny because he knows that it's a thing because he wouldn't be talking about it if it was not a thing. But Biden says Antifa is not a thing. So the leftist is so degenerate that they'll actually say what the thing is and in the same sentence say that it's not a thing. Like, that's the president of the United States. So that's the intellect right there. That tells you everything.
Mutual contact on the East Coast, and they said they want to meet up with us, so that's cool. They're out fighting for children. I don't know if you guys
sure that was two-tones in there.
Again, I was supposed to say this in that speech, but I got so excited I threw my mic out and walked off, and then somebody said something.
This feed is coming to you courtesy of One American No Party, Rumble.
It defeats the whole purpose of throwing it down to start with. But anyway, our convoy has from the beginning, we've been interested in the COVID stuff. Okay, I won't go to that live stream. You know what? Our whole mission statement has been around that one thing.
So make sure you go up there. I told Santa about it.
That is still its plan in what we're working on. We've now opened
Buy
it up.
shop.
We're getting calls. We need to go.
Don't leave because of me.
We need to do this. We need to do that. What about fuel prices? Blah blah blah. All of those things are important to us individually.
Right.
And so what we're trying to do is bring everybody together. Here's the deal. Fuel prices. Why is that going up? What's going on in Washington? The border. Why is that
I like that. Dude smokes too much Parmesan cheese.
Where is that problem originating?
Banana peels. I remember in the old days they said that if you smoke banana peels that you got high.
Are just symptoms. The virus.
I don't know if it worked.
Yes.
He said that we started off on the mandates. For me, it was never about the mandates. Mandates were just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
It's about all the other.
Deborah Walker or Tommy Temper going to keep you up on a big stream. big screen
And
so
we're
I can
tired.
listen.
Government overreach and government control is what it boils
Have
down
got to pick your house up. Okay, going to be working on house cleaning.
to.
Love y'all. We'll be checking in and out. Show them the way. Fabulous
I want
mods.
you to read it.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Yeah.
Deborah Walker, for the kind words.
I got a second. Do I have a third? One of the other things you said something. Our freedom. What they have done over decades of time, started in the 1920s, through a scary moment in American history, the stock market crash. The government steps in and says, we're here to help you. And they started taking freedoms away, individual liberties away from us right then. So over the decades, they've been taking little bites out of freedom's apple. And now we're standing here holding the core, thinking we're calling that freedom. No, now they're starting to eat into the seeds, actually destroying our Constitution. Enough's enough, guys. Enough's enough. Either we stand up now, we either get teeth or we get shackles. Which one do you want? You know, which one do you want? I will not live under shackles. I will not live. As a famous man once said, give me liberty or give me death. Yeah. I told somebody the other day, we don't have to reinvent new cute little lines. We've already got 1775 and 1776 give us all the great words that we ever need to reiterate in this movement. You are right now, you're the modern day Minutemen. That's who you are. And it's time that the Minutemen grab their weapons.
Now, easy now.
Grab a gear.
Grab your heart.
Grab our words and we use them.
Grab a gear and grab a heart. Thank you. I was thinking the minute.
Hold the reins, Santa. Hold the reins.
It's a good thing I am good looking. That's all I got to say. Grab a gear. Grab that horn. Grab your minivan. Grab your RV, and let's go to Washington and let them know that we do not feel represented anymore. All right, this is tyranny. It is. We're not going to live under tyranny. I'm done. I'm sitting here holding a rotted out apple core and saying, wow, no, you got a rotted out apple core that the government has taken bites out of for the past 70 decades, 80 decades, 100 or 10 decades, 100 years. Did I tell you I was good looking? My mama says. Anyway, you guys get what I'm saying.
Copy there, Deborah. Yeah. Last night I was kind of.
Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock.
Feed went down, but I came back up again right away.
It was read over the radio last night.
But yeah, it was a short night. I was pretty tired.
I read it in English. Trucks rolling over the horizon, and all of the patriotism rising. Love this country and feel its pain. There they are in the sun and rain. To those who don't believe, they don't open their eyes. They don't see the beauty and refuse to realize we are not alone. They are the spear. They lead the charge. And here we watch with more than eyes. For they are our hearts. I had lost hope, had felt so few cared, as we watched the eagle lose feathers and oh glory its color. There they are, if only the screen, all of the hope one can see. God bless the truckers, their family and friends, for they are ours too, standing for the free. Thank you, Rotec.
Yeah.
Star Dream, thank you.
Yes,
you are our family and our friends. It's not just about truck drivers. We're just the biggest vehicle in the lot.
Barb Kinsey, good morning. She says, good afternoon, Tommy, mods and patriots.
There's some exciting things going on right now.
Drock says he lives near the Appalachian Trail. Technically illegal to pitch a tent. Is that where it's Yep, same thing here in the federal parks in Canada. You can't tent without letting them know what you're up to. Put it that way, or being in a campground.
So I put all the people together to get that done today.
Or if they catch you, they'll give you a fine.
That's why it's important to get your state convoys together. They ask us
Yeah,
to come, I said, "There's no way
except they don't give fines to homeless.
Absolutely no way." So I called.
They look at them and go, well, can that guy pay a fine? No. Okay, well, not worth it to give him a fine.
And there's like 5 states.
That's how the world works.
Getting ready to go honk their horn at OAF, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's all people's convoy stuff. That's you guys. That's you guys. Spread out all over the nation. We're not alone. This is exciting. It's just fun. Hang on.
Again, we're watching a feed coming from Rumble.
This is what we're doing. I'm not going to make no bones about it.
One American No Party is the where the feed is coming from.
But you know what we're going to do.
Right.
We're serious. Enough's enough.
We are serious.
And if you're not up for that game, you know, no problem. No problem at all. But if that's what you've been waiting on, welcome aboard. Anyway, love you guys. Anybody got anything else?
Peaceful.
Peaceful. Always. Always. We abhor violence. I'm a non-violent person. Crying out loud, I got the nickname Santa. I didn't get Raptor like somebody else.
What you got, bub?
Is it Bad Santa or Santa?
I can't hear you.
You're not live streaming this, are you?
Absolutely.
Between us.
I'm Steve. I'm state coordinator for the People's Convoy, Idaho. Welcome to Idaho. Thank you. I got to go to Hagerstown the first time. I got on in Ontario, ended up in Hagerstown, and was there about 3 weeks, came home, sold all my stuff, and I'm back. We organized while we were here, and we've got, our state is going, we had our first one Saturday. You guys are on the road, so you're missing all of this, but you're going to be amazed at the support we have out there. It is amazing.
It's all coming in.
So that being said, welcome to Idaho.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Locked and cocked, ready to rock. Hey, I pinned my Rumble. I don't have any, I just made it brand new Rumble channel, so I need some
Any other questions?
subs over there. I pinned the Rumble channel up on the top in case YouTube goes down.
Santa,
We started up Rumble, and
it's
it's an actual Tommy Temper branded
the trailers,
channel
storage, and
on Rumble,
and
I just did that just the other day. So if you haven't subbed to us, head over to Rumble. It's pinned to the top, and just give us a quick sub over there. In case we go down on YouTube or get a strike and get the channel completely removed here. We are on Rumble, so make sure you find us on Rumble and give us a quick sub. Thank you.
Dumb as I look, right? So anyway, you're needing help rearranging trailers?
Sometime or another, either today or tomorrow. I prefer tomorrow because everybody needs a down day to relax.
Okay.
Please, everybody relax. Because I'm one of those ones that too needs to relax.
Yes.
So sometime tomorrow after breakfast, we will start to tackle both trailers so we can reorganize them and reset them up. I love y'all, but take a down day for yourselves. Yeah. We've all been killing
You
it.
call me.
We've all been
Hang on.
doing lots of miles. We've been doing lots of things. Yes, I know I've been working my tail off with you guys, but it's one of those ones. If we're getting catered to, and I'm glad, bless you people for doing that.
Thanks to the rest. Absolutely.
We need that downtime. We need to recharge ourselves. Because if we don't, we can't continue the fight. So down day, y'all, relax. I don't want to do nothing.
All your kitchen helpers, all the people that's working in the kitchen, come up here.
Kitty,
All you
Cowboy,
people that are working in the kitchen.
Everybody.
Does it count if you help eat the food?
This is the crew right here that feeds everybody.
This is the day.
The daily crew. Yeah, we're missing Grandma and Grandpa. We got 2 more that are actually with us that are not with us. They're
probably over there in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, it's, we're trying to keep food.
You got to give them an applause loud enough that they can hear it. Yeah.
kitchen and stuff today? Nothing. Y'all take a break.
Take a break.
Take a break. Put your laundry down, relax, enjoy life for a minute. Visit around, see what the local areas are. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
I've been telling everybody this is like the body of Christ. A lot of different members. They all make up one. I was all excited about that until somebody reminded me I was the appendix. I said, at least I'm not the tonsils, because they're always the first to go. So, anyway, it takes all of us working together.
Yeah.
The kitchen staff has to have as much courage as the truck driver and everything else. I mean, our kids here, the kids are walking around. They're intelligent about this. I've talked to them. They know why we're here. That's exciting, man. Tell me some idiot wacko that their kids, well, they probably know what they believe too. I don't know.
Okay, that worked. We've got 5 people watching on Rumble there now, so some people did check us out. Click the sub over there.
Yeah, everything's gonna be fine.
Just make sure that we're subbed up over there, just in case this channel goes down on us. We already have 1 strike on this channel, a medical strike.
The bus yesterday,
When I streamed the LA effort, we got the medical strike. So we don't have much more to go before this channel is hit right down.
That's the command bus, yeah. So,
Frankie, hey, nice to see you. All the way from the Netherlands.
church service, if you want to go, it's at the
Love the lost video, subbed on Rumble. Thank you.
3 o'clock.
6 people watching on Rumble.
Being catered by them. Make sure you live streamers give those
The feed, or the Tommy Temper feed on Rumble is up on the top there. If you can just give it a quick click and then give it the sub over there, that way you know where to find us in case we go down on the YouTube. But for now, we seem to be okay. But we've got more meetings coming up, so you never know whether we get another strike.
Do we know how Golden Chariot's doing?
There we go.
Do we know how Golden Chariot's doing this morning?
Golden Chariot has...
He's waiting on a call from the surgeon.
He is in a lot of pain, very serious. We've sent out to get him, so he went to the hospital. And so if you want to stop by and pray for him or wish him well, or just, tell him you're thinking about him, that's probably a good idea.
Well, let's reiterate, when you say very serious, it's not life.
No,
hey, Birdie. Nice to see you, Birdie.
It's just very painful.
Eagle Whisperer. Woohoo.
And he's going to
no
need
Rumble.
a lot of encouragement and a lot of help and a lot of time. So we hate that that
Support
happened.
from the
Be vigilant
Netherlands.
on safety, guys. Safety.
Rumble
Again,
Pros,
reiterate
Freedom
safety
Cons, Poor Chat, Can't Rewind live streams. Yeah, Rumble has some negatives.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It works.
Alrighty. Thank you guys.
And like it's free speech, so
All right.
it's got those pluses.
Rumble.
Rumble, and
Yep.
it's under what?
One American, no party on Rumble.
One American. I want
Yep.
to send it to both my sons.
Yep, it's right here. Actually, if you want to take a picture, it's right here.
Okay. I don't have my phone on me, but okay.
Oh.
I've got a picture of your truck, so I have it.
All right.
One America, no party.
Oh, man. I think somebody needs to bring the exterminator out today. Hello, Ruff. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for the long letter and the contribution. Laughter is a really good thing. Oh, yeah, you're right. Hey, glad you mentioned that. Hey, Junebug, you might want to see something. I am all on board with what you're talking about. I got to show you something. I really got to show you something. I am all on board. Come here. Take a look at this. See? I am all on board with you there. My body, my choice. Just agreed with you. My body, my choice. So, June, I guess you also believe that the choice has been made when you sleep with the person. Learn some damn self-respect and some damn responsibility. That's all I can say to you. Yeah, I know where I stand too. Love my labs. You just noticed the needle? Dang. Should have made it bigger then. Nah, you're good, Sam. Good morning, Dennis. And good morning, Sam. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, SR71.
Man, my hotspot battery is just...
I'll find it. On Friday, they come in and they clear that street where people accidentally went onto because they saw a truck there. They clear it with extreme force. They clear it so that the next day it's empty. There's nobody there except for the same people that the government has been neglecting for years, the homeless, the mentally unwell. I went down that street to try to get to the Tim Hortons to get a cup of coffee, and I appreciate I'm neurotic and I'm more sensitive to threats, real or imagined. I didn't even feel safe walking that street alone the next day when there were no cops there. The only people who were there were the people that have been neglecting systematically for years. You know, people who are clearly in such mental distress. I was being yelled at by somebody who I've never seen before, telling me to come over there. He just wants to talk to me. And nothing to do with live streaming, just has to do with the state of Ottawa, the state of neglect of the people who are the most vulnerable and need the most help. But no, cops don't have time for that. They just have time to clear out peaceful protesters who were actually assisting the homeless more than the city of Ottawa ever was. But that's what they did. And then the next day, the cops don't give the bikers the itinerary they wanted. They don't let them bike by the cenotaph. But they do it themselves. Almost, I'm gonna go to the Polish lady who everybody seems to love. Polish lady who called me don't be a sissy. You know, they don't let the bikers go through because it would be dangerous or whatever. The cops did at least 3 loops on their motorcycles. It almost felt like a middle finger, like a snub, like F you. We don't let you do it, but we're doing it. And they did it in a way that almost, here, I'll show you this. Hold on. Mute.
Walk both worlds to start uniting people, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Fantastic. Speaker, nice to see you again.
Yeah, thanks,
Stay out of trouble. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I can read it in French. Thank you.
Can you?
La droit d'achat. Oh, presque par cœur.
Canadian Bill of Rights. Know your right, guys. We are not on the private property. This is a public property. Section 1. We have the right to be a right for a free, peaceful manifestation. Know your rights, okay? Know your rights. This is a public place, especially this one. So we have the right to be here, and we are here. They just arrested those
Sorry,
people.
it was a bump. It was a bee. It was
a bee, and he said, oh. Freedom fighter, I'm fucking afraid of a small bee. I'm afraid of a bee. Pussy. Listen, I love you anyhow. They just arrested my friend.
Why?
Because she had a heart. She made a white heart, you know, the turban. It dropped. 60-year-old woman. It dropped, and she tripped on a sidewalk. So the policeman stood on the heart. She tried to pull it out. He pushed her in front of me. I pushed the policeman. She spit onto his face. They just arrested her.
Watch what happens now, by the way, in the background. Watch this.
Love you, tutto le mondial, tout le monde, je t'aime, l'amour, la liberté, ok, pour les toutes. Nous sommes tous ensemble. Love you.
Okay, what do you have to say?
I love you, P-Man. My husband watches you all the time.
Hold on, I want to show the part where I think the cops...
Drove in from Nova Scotia.
Okay, here. Watch what happens now. Watch what happens now.
Going back tomorrow.
Watch this.
Nova Scotia, that's a 13-hour drive.
Yeah. We see a trucking one too. This is unbelievable what they're doing.
They come through. They come through with the bikes. This is the exact route that the bikers wanted to do.
And they wouldn't let the bikers in, but they're coming by making.
I think I just saw what that guy just did. I think that guy. I think internet. If you can rewind.
Yeah, that's the exact route that the bikers wanted to take. So instead of the bikers taking the route, the police prevented the bikers from taking the route, and then the police ran the route with the police motorcycle.
So, and I'm not trying to create drama. I saw that.
To stick it to the bikers.
The cop biked, the guy chasing the cop with the Canadian flag on his back, someone I had seen multiple times during the, when I've seen that guy multiple times during the Ottawa protest, and he was live streaming as well. What I saw was that the cops on their motorbikes came so close to the ralliers that they, in fact, I spoke to someone who said they were clipped by the cops. Like the cop came by and the mirror clipped him as he went by because they were so close. Maybe an accident, whatever. Unnecessarily close, and deliberately so to the dog that was sitting there, where I swear to you, I thought I saw what I saw. I went back and looked and I couldn't see anything in the footage. But these ralliers wanted to ride their motorbikes on public streets around the cenotaph. The cops said no, for whatever the reason. I think it was a last-minute change. And then 3 times they drove around the memorial. Now, I will always steel man the other side, even if I think they're wrong. The argument might be that they were clearing the traffic of pedestrian traffic, making sure it was safe to allow for traffic to resume, because shortly after their 3rd victory lap of the cenotaph, vehicular traffic was going through. Can we charge them? That's fear and loathing in Las Vegas. So that might be the steelman argument. They had to clear it. They go once, twice, 3 times, make sure it's clear, let traffic go through.
The police are hypocrites for doing that.
Other people might think it was cops trying to provoke. And then you hear the story from the Polish woman. Yeah, her friend spat in the cop's face. That's going to get you arrested every day of the week and thrice on Sunday. But they were shoving people. They shoved them knowing the people shoved back. That's when you just get hauled off. And why do you need that many police officers? Security is one thing. Suppression is another. To make sure that things...
Suppression, oppression.
Bees are scared. I didn't know it was a honeybee. I thought it was a wasp. And those wasps are bastards. They're nature's bastards. I'm actually not scared of spiders, crocs, or snakes. I played with a spider, a yellow sac spider. It crawled in my jacket and then bit my stomach. And it's been itchy, but it's better now. But they needed the cops for security, not for suppression. They needed to promote that rally, not demonize it. They needed to use that rally to bring people to Ottawa, as it did, to bring business to those businesses, as it did. Those poutine stands, where I had the most delicious poutine ever, were busy. Those poutine stands saw some serious business because of the rally. But this government wants to turn...
Siempre en
It doesn't want to
Domingo.
turn Canada into Venezuela or Cuba. It just wants to
Those dirty
make
coppers,
sure it's
says
controlling
Define
things for your
Temp.
safety.
Yeah.
And for your safety means
That
that people
says it
cannot
all.
vocally criticize
dirty
the government
coppers.
for government abuse.
They were
And
scum.
lo and behold,
What
that's
they
how
did
you
was
get Cuba.
They were scumbags for doing
That's
what
how you
they
get
did,
Venezuela.
honestly.
That's how
he's
you
not
get
saying it,
East
but I
Bloc
will.
communist countries.
You don't do that.
They are
you don't
shutting
say,
you up
you
for
can't
your own
circle
for
the
for the
cenotaph
safety and security
with
of
a little
society
rally,
at large.
but
And then
we'll
lo and
stop
behold,
you
what
from
happens?
doing it, but we'll do it.
Any
Okay?
critical
Just to
speech
show
of the
you up.
government is subversive.
Those dirty
It's
coppers.
dangerous. And then you get exactly what you saw in that Associated Peace Press in Ukraine. You get armed government officials going door to door, arresting people in accordance with law for posting anti-government messaging. You may hate it. You may think it's wrong. You may think it's disloyal. You may think it's unpatriotic. But it's if you have a country, a free country, and you have a country that actually respects a charter or a constitution, it's free speech. And when you no longer have that, you no longer have free speech. You no longer have a free
speech
society.
in Canada. We don't. It's been taken away.
Yeah, they ran
By
3
Trudeau.
times through there. And I got to tell you, like, it was the RCMP in particular who were the most least friendly. I was, the OPP, the Ontario Provincial Police, they were very friendly. I don't think they wanted to carry out certain orders. The RCMP, Justin Trudeau's RCMP, were not friendly to me, and I smile all the time. And I just, they were not friendly to me.
Are like the henchmen.
They actually were. They gave me the look like I'll keep my distance, and I guess that's what they wanted.
Will treat you a little more
But
fairly.
when you don't feel safe in your own country, it's a problem.
RCMP are like the henchmen for the government.
They are
in
shutting
Canada.
you up for their own good. This is true. Hold on. Now I flagged some. Depp was slandered and silenced. Even if he loses, we all win. Because CNN ran the Heard's lie, and it's yet another red pill. And you missed my other $2 super chat. Sorry, STFU, FFC, FFS, but thank you. Even if Fisman's study was right, only 20%.
Semantics of what it means.
No medical advice. Ashley Lauren, I'm not allowed having thoughts. I'm not allowed having thoughts or discourse of this nature. But thank you for the super chat.
By the way,
I say that
Tommy Temper
facetiously,
is
tongue in
not a
cheek. I know the limits of my own knowledge.
So I will not be
I also know the limits of
medical
logic.
advice today.
Liane Bibot says, can it be true that Pierre has changed his stance on mandates after seeing how destructive they are? Isn't it good to get enlightened? PPC for me. Yeah. Then he's got to apologize for having taken the wrong position and not pretended he had the right position all along. Ooh, I like that. That's it. He was wrong. I made a mistake. I'll tell you one thing, people. I supported. I had no problem with the 2 weeks to flatten the curve. For me, it was unprecedented. Everyone was panicked. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. It was a great excuse to lay back with the family.
Got help from a nice RCMP officer.
I'm happy to say that I realized I was wrong. About by April.
Yeah, they're not. I'm not saying that RCMP
I have the
terribly
correspondence
bad all the time.
I would never. Oh yeah.
But
yeah. If we don't
in
stand for something, we fall for anything Irene done.
They will do what
I also
they're
think
paid
I was in a
to do.
Taylor Swift song.
Put it that way.
Neil Larson, I hope you did not mean to put in a comment with that super chat. I'm going to thank you for the chat. If you did, just go back and put it in, and I will find it without feeling compelled to put in another super chat.
Lion roars.
It's weird listening to Viva at normal speed. I typically play these back at 1 to Gito. So I'm listening. I listen to books at 1.5. When I go back to 1, it sounds like I'm in deliberate slow mode. Like it sounds like they are slowing down to deliberately annoy my brain. Yeah, but so it's funny. I don't play when I play myself at 1.5. I mean, or 1.25, just to make sure my vlogs don't have
all the time.
What's the word I'm looking for? Errors. I find it hard to follow me. I want to bring a chat that I just saw here. It had to do with an old talking point that I've discussed many a time. PPC vote splitting won Trudeau the last 2 elections. 15 ridings in Ontario alone. Don't complain about the current government if you're not willing to help change it. And by help change it, you mean forcing me to vote for a party that I don't believe in because you're telling me that's the only way to change things?
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor, I respect your opinion. I'm not trying to make fun of you. And there's no but.
That's why the Liberals won.
I do not accept this argument. This argument is tantamount to saying, vote for a party you don't believe in because that's the only way you're going to make change. And by the way, Trudeau did not win the last 2 elections. He has a minority government. And to say that Trudeau won the last 2 elections, I mean, people should be using that argument for the NDP to say, if you had voted for Trudeau, you'd have a majority government. I'm not voting for a bad choice because someone else tells me it's strategically advantageous to do it. That's called playing bad chess. And by the way, it's a question of fundamental belief. You're telling me this argument is vote for a party you think are hypocrite liars, but maybe less so than the other hypocrite liars, because it's the only way you're going to get the hypocrite liars out of power? I'm sorry, that just seems like a way to get other hypocrite liars into power. And you know what? If the Conservative Party has to suffer through another election, another, what's the word I'm looking for? Mandate. It's not even a mandate. It's a minority government of minority governments. They have to learn a lesson too. They're not going to learn a lesson by being crappy and thinking they're going to get my vote because they're less crappy than someone else. Pshaw, harumph. Harumph is what I say. I'm saying this respectfully, lovingly, with humor. I disagree with that stance. Not bringing up that comment. Thank you for the truth. Cat Hunter, thank you very much. Okay, that might be your name. I thought for a second that was a vocation. I hunt cats on the weekend. Stray cats. I'm joking. Cat, thank you very much. I read that the wrong way for a second. S. McBee. Viva, how is it that a judge called the trucker convoy legal, that the media is still calling it illegal and an occupation? Good question, S. McBee. Hold on. Let's bring that up because I had this fight with somebody. It's an illegal protest, unlawful protest. And I was like, do tell. Ottawa injunction. Ottawa. This is in the context of another court case, honking, and I'm going to try to get the PDF. Give me a second, peeps. Here we go. And as always, people, do not trust me because I think I've earned your trust, but verify everything I say. And I verify everything I say because every now and again I just have absolutely wrong memories, which is very much disconcerting to my own psyche. So you see where I am here. I put an Ottawa injunction PDF. City of Ottawa versus persons unknown. We're looking at it. We see it. How do I get rid of this? Okay, good. And let's zoom in a little bit. This is Superior Court of Justice, Ontario. Citation, that's February 22nd. Endorsement overview. The respondents. I'm not going to highlight it. I think we can see it. The respondents, Freedom Convoy 2022, arrived in Ottawa on January 28, 2022 to demonstrate initially against COVID-19 vaccine requirements for truckers to re-enter the country by land, introduced by the Government of Canada, yada, yada. It has grown into a broader demonstration, the demonstration against COVID-19 measures. Rally was held, yada, yada, yada. The evidence, yada, yada, yada. The law, we're talking about the law. And then do we get to the order? Where's the order? Oh, this isn't the order.
Free right? Pat King. Where is Pat King, right anyways?
Let's try to get the right one.
Where are the people?
Here we go. The court order.
Okay, Tamara.
Dated February 22nd, Freedom 2022. George, City of Ottawa, persons unknowns. King. Order. The application is made by the City of Ottawa. Heard yada yada. They've heard the submissions and the applicant. We could skip to it. It orders that an interlocutory injunction is granted pursuant to Section 440 of the Media. So this is in the separate. It's not in the class action lawsuit. It's just another injunction, and it says that it orders the people having notice of this order are hereby restrained and enjoined from directly or indirectly by any means.
I don't know if you all know anything about the Canadian convoy, but there was one other player in the convoy by the name of James Botter. And he's the one that came up with the paperwork to go in and take down the government, if you recall. What happened to him? Where is James Botter? And Did he ever get arrested or
horns,
anything? He was
train
one of the
horns,
leaders.
time
He's the
for
one that had the website.
playing
He's the one that was
pre-recorded
doing
horns.
a bunch
That's
of
interesting.
stuff.
And then there's some other issues.
But yet you don't hear about him at all. Isn't that funny?
And then let's see where it was. Here we go. And then
Tamara is out of
where
jail.
was the section where it
Probably
said,
in still being incarcerated, whatever, living in someone's basement under strict orders.
Peace.
Tamara.
Here we go.
Pat King and Freedom George
This
are
is
still
the
in
section,
jail.
people. This is the important section. This court orders that provided the terms of this order are complied with, the respondents, and what are the terms of this order?
Yeah,
No
James,
honking,
no comment.
no noise, not
You probably know
encumbering,
more
damaging the
about James than
highway,
most
a
everybody.
bunch of stuff in this order. They shall not set or maintain an open fire without having obtained the necessary. I'll clip this so you can all see this. But what does it say? They shall remain, provide the terms of this order are complied with. The respondents and other persons remain at liberty to engage in peaceful, lawful, and safe protest. And yet, the government declared the protest unlawful. Almost on their own.
90%
Almost
are
in the
vaccinated,
absence
well,
of any court
80%,
order having
70%,
declared the
whatever.
protest unlawful.
Majority.
And by the way, if
So why
people
lock
breach
down?
the terms of that court order,
Because the vaccines
protest,
they only work
peaceful
for about 6
protest
months
does not
or so,
become
and then
unlawful.
you gotta get a
Their
booster.
acts become potentially contempt.
Get a booster for the rest of your life.
But that's it. That was it. And nonetheless,
You know, and that's it. I'm not taking any shots.
Oh, okay. TS. Has
I'm
Viva
still
ever
alive
talked
now.
about what
I
he would have
doubt if
done
that variant
during
is going to kill me.
this pandemic? His plan. Okay, sorry. And now I initially read that as an aggressive attack. And maybe that's wrong of me and I shouldn't. Maybe this is an actual legitimate question because it is one thing to complain. It's another thing to propose solutions. Let me see if I can't find this. Viva Fry tweet, protect vulnerable.
Viva Fry is great.
Lives.
He was
Let me see if I can
videoing,
find this real quick, like.
The convoys. And he's kind of a legalese expert.
Let me see. Is this the one? Oh, God. Is November 2020 early enough? I think November 2020 is early enough. So let me just see. Here. Not copy to clipboard, dude. I want to share screen. Oh, this producer, I got to tell you. Okay. Viva Fry. November 20. I can't recreate the past. I can only... Have I ever? It's been a policy failure from day one. This is not the earliest tweet that I've had proposing the solution or an alternative, but this is one. Quarantine the sick and exposed. That makes total sense.
More likely to die.
Nobody would ever have promoted the idea that those who are in fact infected with the Rona should be running the streets. Nobody would ever think that. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, if you're sick in general, stay home. Nobody wants your germs.
We trust
But
all of it. No, there's supposedly another wave
quarantine
coming
the
in
sick
this
and the
summer.
exposed. Protect
Another
the most
wave
vulnerable.
of COVID.
Because there are people who we know are statistically vulnerable to the Rona. Allow the
Where's
least
Rat Rod?
vulnerable
Yeah.
to live and
Haven't
provide a
seen him lately.
functional society needed
Good
to support
question.
the most vulnerable. Right now, we are punishing the healthy while torturing the most vulnerable. Now, I think I may have written this tweet. When did my grandmother-in-law pass away? After 18 months of torture. She didn't pass away from the Rona. She passed away from a broken heart and loneliness. So yes, I do not just complain. I have proposed what was obvious, logical, calculated risk versus calculated reward from the beginning.
I like that.
So, I
like
know that
somebody
I said
that doesn't
it earlier,
just
because
complain,
people were saying,
but comes up with a
it's easy to
solution.
complain. What would you do? Well, you know what I would
Complain
do? I would
and
not
come up
lock
with
down the
solutions.
healthy.
Don't
When
just
in
complain.
the history of humankind have people locked down the healthy? And not just the healthy, but the
exactly.
healthy and statistically not
If I'm healthy
vulnerable.
and I'm not sick, why
When
the
has
hell do
anyone
I
ever
need a
done
shot
that?
and a passport to get a bite
Other
to
than
eat?
in communist regimes and wartime? When? The answer is never, by the way. I don't mean to answer my own questions. Oh, sorry, I already got to that one. So that was the solution. That was the solution adopted
Hi,
by
Queenie.
a great many places, whom now, in
You're looking
retrospect, in hindsight, did better than did better, or at the very least, no worse than the countries that crippled a generation, tortured a generation, and are now seeing the obvious, predictable effects, and I won't even call it side effects, necessary consequences obvious consequences of what they did. I mean, it wasn't foresight at the time. Barnes, was one step ahead of me.
No,
but
Jubilee. Yeah.
He is, and I
let's
get
call
jealous
it
of
a Jubilee. The job is now
when he came out
Jubilee.
right from the beginning and said, this doesn't make sense. You lock people down or you keep kids out of school when the parents have to work, and then you end up basically, necessarily in many cases, getting the grandparents to babysit the kids. So you are, by the nature of what you're doing by shutting down schools, effectively pushing what they thought at the time were the vectors of transmission, which we probably now know is not the case, to those who we knew at the time and know even more now are the most vulnerable to it.
And
I mean, it was nuts. It was stupidity from day one. Let me rephrase. It was stupidity from week 3. After the 2 weeks to flatten the curve, it became if it were that. After 2 weeks of that, when we saw what was happening and we were able to gather in real time, it became sheer lunacy. But it became sheer lunacy, which snowballed on itself. And it became a competition
it's like this.
Among states, among provinces, among countries, as to who could be the most maniacal in their response, because the lunacy was being cloaked as safety. So yeah, no, I was vocally, saying what I thought, but it is easy for me to say what I think should have been done. Hindsight's 20/20, but this is not just hindsight. It became clear very early on.
Only 2 weeks.
What we were doing was stupid.
Oh, just get this
and it
one
became
job.
clear very early on that what we were doing was going to have lasting devastating generational consequences. And it has, and it will continue to do so. Setting aside all of the other stuff.
Vaccines generally immunize and are very effective.
Polypropylene and PET plastics now being found deep in the lungs of humans for the first time. Total coincidence. Self-harm to teenagers. Total coincidence.
This Jubilee doesn't
overdose.
Immunize, so it's not a vaccine.
The stuff the self-harm you can't mention on YouTube.
Says John Wayne.
People now not being diagnosed with illnesses that are now getting diagnosed, and it's in advanced stages. I mean, I know people.
Correct. Why impose draconian laws with a Jubilee that doesn't proven it doesn't work?
You are too black-pilled over Pierre. The reality is PPC is going nowhere, unfortunately. I couldn't get behind Bernier because it seemed like he was surprised over everything. Kind of out of touch.
Yeah, NDP is even worse.
I do not think I'm black-pilled about
really locking
Bernier.
us down.
I just think he's...
even now.
I think
even
the party...
Now, if I look at...
they might earn some
tweets,
votes back when the party does
locking
something other than promise to be different.
Even yesterday.
When freaking O'Toole's coming out and saying, when we're elected, we'll repeal Bill C-10. I was like, hey, that's great, dummy. It hasn't been passed into law yet. How about you just fight against it being implemented as law? I didn't mean to call him dummy. I did that for...
well, the right-wingers never win anything with
let's see if we can do this.
With the liberals and the dippers in power in Canada.
Yehu ata tzarich lehasbir.
What was that one? There was in Spanish. Let me read it here. There was a Spanish post. I'll read it. I don't know what it meant, though. Maybe somebody can interpret. Where is it?
Asur lecha lichtov et
hasha'ar. Damn it. Okay, let me read this.
Okay, you know what the problem is? I can't.
Hang on a second. I don't know how to read Spanish, so excuse my Spanish. Francisco Luis Serrano Martinez El Rey Leon says, Amigos, yo tengo un don cuando vio relampegos por Skype en directo los truenos suenan más suave y las tormentas pierden intensidad, que la felicidad, la libertad y la salud siempre os acompañan. Saludos. There you go. I have no idea what that means, but siempre, salud, that means maybe salute, siempre, something, os acomplos, saludos, something about saluting something about Skype. But other than that, I have no idea what that was, but I thought I'd read it anyways because somebody posted it here. That really ruined the show, eh?
Them showing up at your door for a social media post, or, I got a call
I'm waiting
from
for
the
that to
government.
happen. police to show
suggesting
up
that
at my
my
door because of
5-year-old, no,
something
not
I
my
said
5,
on
my
the show here.
8-year-old had to be in isolation. This is a while back because someone in her class tested positive, then gave our contact info as people that this
Sherry
individual
Palmer
had
was
come in
hoping
contact
Tommy
with,
would raid
and the
PNN
government
during the
expected
Trump
me
speech.
to
Oh,
isolate
yeah, I had
my
to leave.
healthy, testing
I had to
negative
go.
8-year-old,
So
and it was for
unfortunately,
like a long period of time. This is after, by the way,
wasn't able to do
they
that.
said that it was a miscommunication what the health people said in the Peel region.
Stop living in
we
fear.
didn't mean you were supposed to isolate children because of crossing paths with someone who tested positive. But they said that,
Hey,
and
the
then I
street
get a call
sweepers
from the
out there.
government.
You know, it's springtime
saying
when
that
the street
they got
sweepers
my
out there.
info from someone who tested positive and provided my info from them,
Sweeping all
and
the
now I'm
sand off the
expected
roads from
to
the winter
isolate my 8-year-old.
up in Canada.
And that I said when I told this woman,
It's
"Thank you for
springtime.
calling me," and don't, I didn't say it in so many words. Then I'm legit fearful that someone's going to show up at my door. I mean, they've turned us against each other. They've turned us against the police. They've turned the police against us, and they've turned the police against the police. They have system. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I've said it again, but they've
The police
systematically
will knock on your door
just
one
destroyed
day
and violated
and give you hell because you said
what was
something
a free
bad
Canadian
about
society.
Biden or Trudeau.
And they make you fear everything. They make you fear your own thoughts, and that's part of it. It's child abuse. If you
Draconian
isolated your
laws,
kid
correct.
like that, you would be charged with neglect. 2 years ago, yeah. 2.5 years ago, yeah. Now it's moral to do because the government says you have to do it. Okay. Were you ever really free? I don't know. I felt freer. We had fewer laws, so I think we were freer. We were never really free. I don't know what that really means, but I read an article by Jacques Beau regarding Ukraine. Long but very informative. It would
I
seem
used
the
to have a
media and
knock on
government are
here, but I
lying.
don't.
But
So
why?
this will substitute for a knock on your door.
Everyone should
okay?
read Grey
This
Lady
is the-
Wings. Why?
This is the
Why would they have?
police
Why
knocking
would
on
the
your
New York
door.
Times have lied about what was going on in Yahtzee, Germany? Why would they have lied about the Holodomor? Why would they have lied about the Ukrainian famine, the Ukrainian Holocaust? Why would they have lied about what the Soviets were doing? Why would they have lied about Cuba? Why would they have lied about Vietnam? Why would they have lied about things? The reasons are always the same. Political interests and financial interests. And you just have to find out what they are at the time.
Okay, I'll be back.
It's shocking. It's always been this way. It's always been this way. How would Canadians have power to demand term limits for those who serve the people? I mean, you have elections. And they can keep getting reelected. It's disgusting how fear became a freaking virtue. Emanuela Delisi, yes. It's not and the thing is this, it's not the fear that's the virtue. It's the fear that's the object. And then everything you do to satisfy the fear becomes an act of benevolence because it's cloaked as caring for others. I was in the park. What day is it today? Monday. Yesterday. Beautiful sunny day, 20 degrees. I saw a family of a kid, 3 middle-aged adults wearing N95 face masks in the park. And they were with the grandfather. I think I couldn't get clear on the dynamic of the family.
Notes somewhere. Check them out.
They were with the
on
father,
your left side middle.
the grandfather, who was the only one not wearing a mask. And I was wearing my shirt that said "Politics ruins everything," and the unmasked grandfather says, "I like your shirt." I don't know which way he thought he liked it or which way he thought I intended it. He, in that family environment, was the only one not wearing an N95 mask outside at a park on a sunny day on a beautiful, beautiful spring day. And I want everyone to know this is not about mask shaming, and this is not about judging anyone for their decisions. If they were all COVID positive, I could understand it. This is a question of, I could perceive this to be, on the one hand, the manifestation of irrational, overwhelming fear. They might think we need to do this to protect my grandfather or your grandfather, my father. They might think they have to do this and they're being benevolent by doing it. But it's traumatic. It's manifestation of psychological trauma. That's what it is. I don't judge them for it. I feel bad for people who feel compelled that they need to give themselves this security blanket to do these things. The FDA advisory board voted 15-1 against the booster Zoom meeting. All the doctors on the panel said can't finish the sentence. Thank you for the super chat. Let me see here. We are in the top 10 freest countries on the planet. First of all, I disagree with that statement. I don't know how it's possibly measured, and I don't care if that's a sign that other countries are worse, TS. We are the top 10 freest countries on the planet. Who did that study? And TS, by the way, if that's true, and in the top 10 freest countries on the planet, the citizens can be lawfully curfewed into their homes for 5 months, I don't care that I'm better than North Korea. That's not my standard of a free society. That's great. There will always be worse people out there. That doesn't mean that I don't strive to be the best. And I would give you the number 1 freest country on earth. If the other 9 are North Korea, that is a metric of measurement that is utterly useless. We are not a free country right now. We are, in fact, a police state right now, in my humble opinion. We're literally a police state because people are being prosecuted by the police for exercising their charter rights. We are literally a police state because for a while, we literally could not leave our homes after 8 o'clock at night for 5 months. It's not a free country. It's not a free province. We have 12-year-old kids who can't fly or take the train because of their medical status. We're not a free country. And if we're freer than North Korea, good for you, good for me. That's not my standard of measurement. I do not hold tyrannical countries as the measurement for what we are willing to put up with for tyrannical corruption here. Sorry. The Canadian Constitution Foundation are going to court to get the secret papers in the Emergency Act. They think they will get them. They should. Oh my God. Oh wow, who heard that? That was good. They should, if there's anything remaining of our judicial system. The government that is required to form an inquiry to look into why they invoke the Emergencies Act is limiting the scope of the inquiry that's supposed to investigate their behavior. Yep, it's a free country. It's a free country when the government offices are locked. They don't consult with their population. They don't pass laws in the legislative manner through public debate, evidence, actual legislation. They invoke the Emergencies Act in the most abusive and unjustified manner possible, freeze bank accounts in the absence of court orders, immunizing the banks for so doing it or promising to. Yeah, that's with free societies like that, who needs tyranny? Who needs communism? Who needs fascism? And the state-funded media is trying to convince the citizens that it's normal, it's acceptable, and they need it for their own protection from that racist, misogynist, hate-filled Ottawa protest. Top 10, then there are very few countries. Then the freedom bars. Well, the secret papers, from what I understand, the government basically redacted a bunch of documents that they're not providing as to the evidence on which they decided to declare the Emergency Act in virtue of which it was justified. That's what I understand. Can we discuss what can be done? I'm not optimistic, so don't ask me. Hey, it's the People's Democratic Republic of Korea. Yeah, that's it. You give it the most opposite name, and that's it. Here. Okay, so here we go. Switzerland, 9. What are these ratings? Australia is. I mean, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. New Zealand, New Zealand, where people were put in quarantine facilities, where people were escaping barbed wires, quarantine, where they couldn't travel from one Australian state to the next. Yeah, all right, that's great. Anyways, I disagree with this. This is a wonderful chart. This to me. Luxembourg, I think, I would agree from what I understand. Switzerland, I would agree from what I understand. New Zealand, Australia, Canada. I mean, that's got to be a joke. Okay, anyway, so that's good. I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, that's. Viva is Samson the Great, a biblical hero. No, I'm not cutting my hair anytime soon. That's. I don't think my hair is my strength, but I like it. All right, was that a WEF? Yeah, anybody who says Australia is a free country, okay, we'll agree to disagree. Australians don't consider Australia a free country. Dictator Dan, does not consider Australia a free country. Nobody considers Australia a free country. Australia is not a free country. Canada is not a free country. When you cannot leave your country or return to your country freely, it's not a free country. And right now, by the way, unvaccinated or non-exempt individuals 12 and up cannot freely leave or come back to their country because in coming back, they are required to quarantine for at least 14 days. Healthy people who tested negative in returning to their own place of birth, 12 years old and over, if they are unvaccinated and not exempt, they are required to quarantine. They are required to go in house arrest, because that's what it is, for no less than 14 days. Do not tell me Canada's a free country. How do you make it better? I don't know. I get a bad feeling too many people want this. I don't think 14 days is correct. You're right, at least 14 days. Go look at the ArriveCan app. Go look at the government requirements on the government website. If you don't think it's correct, and it is correct, I believe then you should concede that we don't live in a free country. Hold on. Let's just resolve this now. I don't believe that they've changed it. Unvaccinated Canadians returning to Canada who are not exempt. I'm just putting in words. Okay, let's go pull up the evidence of the free country in which we live. Government of Canada. Okay, I hope I didn't misread this. Let me just make sure I can see both screens at the same time. We are on Government of Canada announces additional easing of border measures effective April 25. What date are we now? We're May 1st. Scroll down. Unless otherwise exempt, all travelers eligible to enter Canada who do not qualify as fully vaccinated will continue to be tested with COVID-19 molecular tests on arrival and on day 8, while they quarantine for 14 days. This includes unvaccinated and partially vaccinated travelers. Sorry, it's not at least 14 days. They have to test, unless otherwise exempt, all travelers eligible to enter Canada, this includes citizens who do not qualify as fully vaccinated, will continue to be tested with COVID molecular tests on arrival and on day 8, while they quarantine
Viva
for
rules.
14
She's great.
days. This includes unvaccinated or partially vaccinated travelers. And by the way, people, do not think for one second that if you are fully vaccinated now but haven't gotten the booster yet, that very soon you are going to be partially vaccinated and therefore not fully vaccinated and therefore subject to 14 days quarantine. Okay, and I'll clip the link. So that resolves that. I hope that resolves that. We're May 2nd view. Okay, no, I'm just saying that applies as of April 25. And I do believe, I know for a fact previously it said at least 14 days. And I know for a fact also that this applies to Canadian citizens who do not qualify as exempt. Only by virtue of their medical status. And by the way, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Justin Trudeau, who accuses everyone of racism, misogyny, and whatever you can think of,
at my house,
knows damn well which Canadians are statistically most likely or more likely to be not fully vaccinated. That it would be Black Canadians, Latino Canadians, Indigenous Canadians, and to some extent females who might want to have control over their own bodies. So what is he basically saying? Black Canadians, Latino Canadians, Indigenous Canadians, you are more likely, if you decide to travel, to be placed under arbitrary, malicious, unconstitutional house arrest should you decide to come back to your country. But I'm not racist. I only implement policies which have a disparate impact on minority races. But I'm not racist. You're the racist. Okay.
Trudeau is a racist. Period.
Okay, well, that was it.
Based
All right.
on
Now,
everything
do
he has
we
said.
do I ask the stupid question, or do we want to go see what's going on with the Johnny Depp trial? Do we want to see what's going on with the Johnny Depp live testimony? 1 for yes, 2 for no.
Ravioli.
Bearing in mind, I don't have
for lunch.
At some point, I'm going to have. Oh, geez, it's
mini
2:22.
ravioli.
I have to leave easily by 3 o'clock, and then I've been neglecting my phone. Let me see if my wife is 10 text messages. Oh my goodness, she sent me this picture. Wait, I don't want to dox my wife's number. She sent me this picture of the dogs. Come on. Oh, there. Look at that. That's when Winston was a little baby. What's your problem, Viva? Get the angle out. There we go. Look at that. Pudge and Barney. Winston. Pudge and Winston. What the heck is my problem, man? Yeah, all right. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do the Johnny Depp. There's no point. I can't do it the way other people are doing it. I don't want to. I just want Amber Heard's testimony. So is Amber Heard testifying? I don't want to bring up stuff that's going to potentially qualify as medical misinformation. Can't do it. Beth Noyers, 7. Well, if we add 1 + 2 times 2 plus, no, okay, forget it. All right, well, let's see. What are the, let's take some questions that will be non-super chat questions. We're not doing it. No Johnny Depp stuff. When Amber Heard is up, I'll do it then, but not before then. And then also, yeah, great. Those dogs were the cutest dogs on earth. Still are. Thank you, Viva No Depp. I'm going to live with my decision, but when Amber Heard testifies, I will be live streaming that. Before COVID was a free country. During COVID, not so much.
Mr. Noodles tomorrow.
Now there are 0. Okay, but you see, here's the problem, Mr. Wonderful. This is not an attack on you at all. No, but the fact this is a mentality that a lot of people have now. Well, they're easing up on the restrictions now, so stop complaining. No, and I don't care that Australia rescinds all of the measures. I don't care that if they revoke all of the measures, and Australia goes back to being more free now than Canada now. I don't care. You will never live in a free society until measures are implemented to ensure that the government never had the authority to do it in the past, as far as I'm concerned. That they never are allowed to do it again. And I don't want to use hyperbolic or offensive analogies. I'll just go with the dog that bit you. It doesn't matter if a dog never bites you again. If a dog bit you once, you are always living in the house with a dog that bit you. And you have to govern yourself accordingly. If you have kids, you have to live accordingly. It doesn't matter, the dog hasn't bitten anybody in the last week. Too bad. You can't leave your kid alone with that dog ever again. This may be a hyperbolic comparison analogy, but I think most people are going to agree with it. Our government now, it's not a rabid dog, but it's not far off. It's an unpredictable dog that has bitten a child. So I know what some people might do to a dog like that. I know that we lived with a dog like that for 2 years, and it was 2 torturous years of constant stress and anxiety. So when the dog's going to bite again, our government is a dog that has bitten, and they can never be trusted again not to bite. And I don't care that they haven't bitten for a week. I don't care they haven't bitten for a year. They can never be trusted again. So until you have measures implemented, a muzzle on the metaphoric government, until you have a muzzle on that government, you will never know that they can't bite you again in the future. And I don't care if they don't bite you now. They're an untrustworthy dog that has bitten you in the past. And unless they're muzzled for the future, I will never feel comfortable around that dog ever again. It's actually a phenomenal analogy. If I may pat myself on the back. The other thing that infuriates me over the last 2 years was the politicians' blatant hypocrisy as they broke the rules they made for everyone else. Dr. Phi, or Durfee, don't trust Durfee, people. Don't trust Durfee. Let's trust but verify Durfee. Let's go here. Let's see here. I'm just going to Google politicians who broke COVID rules. I know there's a bunch. Share, Chrome tab, politicians who broke COVID rules. Let's just see which article. I'll go with Sky News. Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson lockdown party accusations, the politicians and officials who have had to resign for breaking the COVID rules. I don't know if this is only British. Boris Johnson broke the rules. This looks British and therefore not so interesting to me. Let's just go back here and go back to America. America. Anger high when politicians break corona. See, I don't only want Democratic politicians because there's been, I think, a few Republicans in Canada. There have been, I don't know, 14 prominent Democrats stand accused of hypocrisy for ignoring restrictions. You know what? I don't even need it. Whitmer, Wolf, Lightfoot, Schumer, Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Justin Trudeau, Doug Ford, that guy in Quebec, a liberal, what's his name? His brother's on the radio. Doesn't matter. So you got the let's do Canada. I don't want to do like the Democrat versus, here we go. This is going to be the good one. Okay. List of politicians who broke COVID travel advisories continues to grow. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. It's actually, it's impossible. Oh yeah, so here's, on Sunday, the list of politicians. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah. Rod Phillips, that's the one. Rod Phillips, I believe, is the one who look up Rod. I don't need to do that. Who pre-recorded a video about how he had to celebrate Christmas differently. Pre-recorded it, posted it while he was in St. Bart's Island, I believe. Rod Phillips. When Rod Phillips jetted off for a sunny Caribbean vacation on December 13, he touched off a political storm that engulfed him when he returned to Ontario. Phillips resigned as the province's finance minister on December 31, hours after returning from a 2-week trip to St. Bart's. Phillips, who will remain a member of the provincial legislature, called the decision a significant error in judgment. No, it wasn't. It was a gosh darned lie, because you're a gosh darned liar. But it wasn't just a lie. It was pathological manipulation and dishonesty. This guy, can we see the tweet? I'm not going to go through the other ones. This is this guy, Samir Zuberi, Pierre Arcand, that's the guy I was looking for. Yarosh Chassin, Joe Hargrave, Tracy Allard, Jeremy Nixon, Pat Ray, and the big ones. But we've got to do this. We've got to do. What was his name? Rod Phillips. Yeah, there you go. Tweet video. You got to see this. Let me see. Will this be it? I want the video. Is this it?
In terms of being able to make their digital piece work, and it was great to see them. Great to see them work so close together. But it's just an example. I think
this isn't it. Hold on. This is classic. It says this isn't the one I was looking for, but this is. According to the tweet, I haven't verified this, but it's a blue check mark, so it might be true. This video was just shared by the Ontario Liberal Party. It appears to be from a Zoom meeting held December 16th, 3 days after Rod Phillips departed for St. Bart's. There are claims you can hear the sound of waves in the background.
Have had support in terms of being able to make their digital piece work, and it was great to see them. Great to see them work so close together. But it's just an example.
I hear it. But I want the original video when he tells people that they're going to have to celebrate Christmas differently this year. Where he says we're going to have to celebrate Christmas differently this year because we all have to work together. I'm not going to find it, but whatever. We got it. We got the idea. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Metro.ca. Okay. Where's the video? Where's the video? Here we go.
Hello, everyone. It's Rod Phillips, the MPP from Ajax. On this Christmas Eve, I want to wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas. Now, I know that this Christmas is a bit different than Christmases in the past. We're meeting virtually and online and not able to be in person with as many family and friends as we'd like to. And I'm turning it off. I'm sorry.
That was a pre-recorded video that he published while vacationing in St. Bart's. It's the most egregious example, but they all did it. Justin Trudeau, when there was interprovincial travel restrictions, when I couldn't see my family in Ontario, he crossed the border to go to his vacation home in Quebec. Doug Ford, when we were all being told we can't celebrate holidays with our friends and family, he met with his daughters, had an unlawful illegal gathering. Jagmeet Singh, he broke the rules and was caught breaking his bubble not wearing a mask shortly after calling people who were against the mask mandates right-wing selfish extremists who don't care about neighbors, don't care about community. Pierre Arcan, I don't know what they're all a bunch of hypocrites. I mean, it's over the top. But that was it. I absolutely agree with you, Viva. Unfortunately, we have no constitution to enshrine our freedom. Well, we had one in theory. I'm sorry. You in Australia. Yeah. Apparently Australians don't even have a charter of rights that the government can violate. So they're one step behind us. Did I miss that super chat? Hold on. So let me get to that one. It's an orange chat. I don't know if I was down or up. Thank you very much for the super chat. And where was the orange one, people? If I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, Durfee. When we had that state funeral in London, Ontario for the family where Ford and Trudeau stood shoulder to shoulder with thousands, I believe the rule here was still you couldn't have more than 8 to 15 people attend a family funeral. Yep. And by the way, when they were doing that, and by the way, I'm not saying they shouldn't have been able to do that. I'm saying they should have been able to do that. But while they were doing that, they were literally, and I appreciate it's a different province, so that doesn't mean it makes sense, arresting Maxime Bernier for holding an outdoor political rally of 30 people in Alberta, Manitoba, I forget which one. The whole point is, a virus does not trump certain constitutional rights, certain constitutional freedoms, certainly not one that we knew was the way it was at the time that they were doing this. They had thousands of people gathering in Ontario to remember the family of that horrible incident, while they were simultaneously arresting their political, ideological adversaries for an outdoor political gathering of 30 people. And while they were denying the humanity of Canadians in limiting how they can grieve the loss of their loved ones. When Ruth, I think they had the same issue with Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she passed away. She got, people could congregate to mourn her loss, but they couldn't congregate to mourn their own, depending on their state. Denying the humanity of humankind. What do you think that's going to do? Psychological stress, psychological devastation, social stress, social devastation, social upheaval, social discord. But hey, the more of that, the more the government gets to come in and say, we can solve this problem that we just caused. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I think we touched on this, and I'm not sure. Anyhow, I'll ask. We'll talk about it next Sunday. I'm not sure that there's anything to be done about that, but... So that's that. What else? Let's see what we got in the... Oh, yeah, McKinney. We got Kenny, who had his... what was it called? It's called Skygate, where he had a outdoor... No. Oh, yeah, it's right there. The Skygate. Hold on, guys. And it's all... That one was pretty shocking as well. Hold on. Just wait for this. Wait for this. Skygate. It's not just that they were having an unlawful gathering by their own standards. They live like freaking kings. Skygate. What was it called? Here we go. There's the image. Where's the image from? Just going to get the article here. There. Look at these flipping people, man. It's good to be king. It is good to be king. Why? This is from the Star. Why a Sky Palace photo of Alberta Premier Jason Kenney has hit a nerve. In a province where public health restrictions have been particularly polarizing, it's the photo location that has hit a particular nerve. Yeah, it's also the fact that there's a freaking bottle of Jameson on the table. There's a bottle of Jameson right here. That looks like it might be bigger than a 750. That looks like it might be a 1.15. There's 2 bottles of wine by my viewing here, and 3 bottles of San Pellegrino carbonated water. Nothing but the best for the king. While Albertans, is this Alberta? I keep getting confused here. What the heck's my problem? Yes, Calgary, Alberta. Well, while Albertans are being locked down and locked away. A bottle of no masks, a bottle of Jameson, 2 bottles of wine, 3 bottles of San Pellegrino on a sky terrace. These boys, they need their downtime. Jason Kenney has, with a bottle of Jameson Irish whiskey on the patio of the Sky Palace. Anyhow, let's just go put this one here. You guys go read this. I mean, I don't even, the problem is there are people who don't even know about these things. There are people who don't know that the politicians actually did this. And then they think, they call me, I'm angry. I'm a conspiracy. I'm focusing too much on the bad. There are people who don't know about this, and they sit around like they deserve to be abused. Like, oh yeah, like we have to do it for each other. While the kings don't even follow their rules, which means, and it's not a question of like a set of rules that they don't have to follow. If it's for safety, then they are basically saying these rules are actually not for safety, or we don't care about putting other people at risk, or we don't believe it ourselves. Sitting there on presumably taxpayer dollars, just like gluttonous pigs. Sorry, like gluttonous pigs. The other thing is this: I was going to say this as a joke. I drink tap water when I go to a restaurant. I drink tap water. I like carbonated water. I can't stand paying $4 for a bottle of carbonated water when I know it costs $1 at the dépanneur. Dépanneur is Canadian for 7-Eleven. Punish me. I can't stand overpaying for the stuff that you know how much it costs. I was in Vegas, like back when the world was free. I was at a place. They were going to charge me $9. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Vegas. I'm sorry, to get angry there. It was San Diego for one of my wife's neuroscience conferences, and we were in the convention center. And these convention centers, they're very, very far from stuff. So like you can't just run to a grocery store. The convention center wanted to charge me $9 US for a Red Bull. I couldn't. I have $9. I would rather. Well, I have $9. I could not do it as a matter of principle. It's like a $5 shake out of Pulp Fiction, except that seems cheap now.
You know those arenas that they build?
I saw.
Like here we have a Rogers Center in Edmonton here. You go into that building and you try and buy anything in there, it's like 4 times the price of anything outside that building.
His medical advocate.
I refuse to step into that building, period.
Delivered their baby, and the husband couldn't be in the delivery room. I think one was allowed to be in the delivery room. Others
$50
were not
for
allowed.
a burger in
Others
Vegas
were not
now.
allowed to go attend the ultrasounds with their wife. It's you deny humanity. I don't know that there's any greater transgression of morality than denying the humanity of humankind. Who said tap water is bad? Hold on, $5. Well, it was $5 for a shake in 2000, so that's like multiply that by 3. That's like $15 shake now. A 1-liter bottle of Jameson costs $80. Well, it costs $80 at the SAQ or the liquor store. The dog just made a noise. If you get a bottle at a restaurant, they charge you 3 times the amount because they have to go through the provincial liquor board, and they've got to pay twice for 2 times that bottle. So you order a bottle of Jameson at a restaurant. You want your bottle service because you're an opulent king who gets to do whatever the heck he wants. You're paying 3 or 4 times the price of that bottle at one of the liquor commissions, which is already overpriced because they already have a government monopoly.
$12 for a beer at Rogers Center, yeah.
Okay,
it is. Well, it's 3 times the price, right? $4 for a beer at a normal place.
What else is going up in here? Did I have anything else in my to-do list for the day? Well, I got the injunction, Johnny Depp, Monday. What else was it that we wanted to talk about? I think we did good. Gonna have to go catch up on some non-law stream work. Yeah. So by the way, so we'll call it here because I think we've covered the essential. We've covered the hypocrisy. We've covered everything. Did someone say tap water is bad? What can we do to push back these laws on vaccinated travel. Too many go, it's not limiting you to cars. You're not entitled to planes or trains. You got to get the public has to be outraged to the point where they manifest their disagreement with this. It's a known fact, by the way. And it's a known fact that government, at least in Quebec and in Canada as well, they say trust the science and they say they're following science. They are going by polling. They are going by focus groups that tell them what they think the general population wants. You have to vocalize your disagreement with this so that they know nobody likes it anymore.
Attention chat,
the problem
sex porn
is,
coming in.
Too many people think they're safe for now. Too many people think, well, I'm fully vaccinated, so it doesn't affect me, until they say, oh, you got to go get this booster now. It doesn't matter that you had COVID in January. You got to go get the booster. Otherwise, you can't take a train or plane. Nobody cares until it gets to their front door. And then oftentimes by the time it gets there, like the old saying goes, it's too late. So an injustice is an injustice regardless of who it affects and regardless of the degree to which it affects them. Because injustices are like festering wounds.
Hey, define hemp.
At first, they might only affect people you hate. And you're like, there's some part of you that likes you to see people you hate experiencing injustice. It doesn't stop there. And it's a festering wound in that it doesn't stop with one element either.
Frustration,
it spreads
try
like
not to call
necrosis. It's constitutional necrosis, and it spreads and it rots and it will consume everything eventually.
Terms of service.
A friend's father was left alone in the ER waiting room for hours while having a stroke. He couldn't talk to say what was wrong. Frederick von Runge. The future governments will be apologizing for the wrongs and the damages that the current government has.
YouTube is failing, committed. That's for sure. There it is again. Oh.
Do you know what Evian water is? Spell it backwards. Well, there is, and there's also some discussion about drinking water that comes out of plastic bottles.
It has sex in
but
it.
Tap water is good, man. You know, the only reason I miss winter is because the tap water is so darn cold in Quebec, Montreal. Magnificently cold, gloriously cold. In the summer, you can't really get it that cold. Art Vandalay says, Viva, can you please give a shout out to my mother, Phyllis, in Cave Creek, Arizona? She really enjoys your show. You provide her hours of entertainment. Phyllis, I have to go see where Cave Creek, Arizona. Hold on, we're going to do it in real time. This is going to be the ultimate shout out to Phyllis. Where is Cave Creek, Arizona? Because I'll tell you one thing. Arizona.
All right, y'all. Ooh, climb up in the truck and sit for a bit.
See what's going on here. I'm just going around the board here a little bit. Sorry for interrupting Viva. But we'll see whether or not we have any
into
kind of audio around here.
Cabela's.
10:20.
Got Mud Pig back up there.
Where is Golden Chariot from? I'm not even sure.
On Earth, where you have, where is
check that link.
Saguaro National Park here?
See what we have there.
You know, that's it. Okay. Cave Creek National Park. Okay, I'm not sure anybody wants to see this, but let's just go here for 1 second and let's just get a blast from the past. Eva Fry Saguaro. Oh, you're going to see me back when I was young. Can I even find my old stuff? It's Saguaro. Hold on 1 second. This has to happen. Viva Fry Saguaro.
Already received some as well. Oh, speaking of stuff,
Mud Pig.
I gotta go through these super chats.
Find it.
Viva.
I'll have to find it later. It was from Arizona. It's the most beautiful place on earth. Tied with all the other places that I say are just as beautiful.
You know, to me, I would say what you want.
So Phyllis,
but
enjoy the beautiful weather. Enjoy one of the most beautiful places on earth.
It's not good to have
happy Monday.
that in the chat
No,
against
I
their
got
terms of
hold on.
service, because you know what I mean.
Science and the law always wins. I didn't even mean to bring this up, but
Freaking
full of
censors are on our
rattlesnakes.
backs
I saw a
like
rattlesnake.
crazy.
They're beautiful. It would be nice if the jabbed also boycotted
Missed
travel,
out
but
on
many
that
of them
where
say
he's
it was your
talking,
choice not to get
to the
jabbed.
guy that fell off the
Coercion
truck.
is not a choice, but wait until they are the targets. Where now they have to do something. But I already did it. I thought I did my part already. Well, you got to do your part again. But I don't really want to. I feel fine. Oh, okay. College was an expensive way to delay growing up. Learned more in a month on the job than in 4 years of college. There is Party Store University. There's no question about that. I learned more in my first 3 months of, well, I would say I learned more in my first year of practice as a lawyer than in all of my law degree. But some training you need. Some training is just training for no better purpose than training you how to think and how to function. But if universities are actually training people how to think badly or
like
corrupting
if this was
their
Facebook
thought and
and
corrupting
you
their
made that comment
functionality,
on Facebook,
corrupting their ability to actually deal with the
get
real
at
world,
least a 1 week
then university
suspension
ceases
from,
being any form of training, and it actually starts becoming
chatting in that group again. And you might even get a YouTube suspension, or not a YouTube,
Viva,
but a
we are
Facebook
Commonwealth
suspension
brothers.
right
Let us
off
share
the
in our
entire
connected and
platform
enshrined
to
misery.
comment for a week or
Because
more.
God has abandoned us. Well, our Charter of Rights is based on the supremacy of God, Mr. Wonderful. We enshrined the Charter of Rights in our Constitution. Now we just need to get politicians.
Yeah, except nobody was wearing N95 masks, even people in the hospital, because there weren't enough of them to go around. So the N95. Now people are now wearing N95 masks outside. I see
Fight
them
the good fight,
walking
knuckle
around
deep.
now that they're available.
I don't know what that means. I'm gonna assume that's about picking your nose.
But you know, the whole time they just wore an old sock that looked like a
so
mask
that's it.
on
That's
their
where we're at.
face.
So this
Everybody
week, people,
did that.
the schedule. Tomorrow, I made a
Or a
mistake. It wasn't
so-called
last week.
surgical
It's
mask, which
tomorrow.
is pretty much
I'm going
useless
to be on with Eric Duhem on his channel
breathing
at
in
5:30 in the afternoon. He's going to be on with me
Surgical
Thursday.
mask might help you from
And now I'm
coughing.
hoping that
You know,
Amber
it
Heard
might help a
testing
cough.
doesn't happen on Thursday.
All that cough
Friday,
stuff might hit the mask.
I have Roman Baber on.
It goes out on the
so
sides.
we've got a full week. And Wednesday to be determined, but Wednesday evening we've got a good sidebar with from the Revolver, Warren Beatty.
Sherry
Is it Warren Beatty?
Palmer
It's
has
not Warren Beatty,
all
that's
the
the actor.
information
Darren Beatty.
On that link
from
about face masks.
From the Revolver. We're gonna have an amazing foreigner. God hasn't abandoned. So this was a great thing. When I was at the rally and I was talking to Big Bear from he's from Alberta.
Yeah, let's just
and
try not to call people names.
A number of the speakers
Probably
were
the best
talking
bet.
religion. I said, I appreciate what they're saying. I just don't have that same religious view of things. And Big Bear says to me, the term God is just a different manifestation for all of us, but we're all ultimately talking about the same thing. You know, Christians who see it in Jesus and who see it in God, Jews who see it in God, Muslims who see it in God, and other people who see it in the cosmos, in dog. Ultimately, we are ultimately describing the same thing.
Okay, who wants to take over my stream? This is the way we do it.
I won't say higher being, but some higher.
Unfortunately, I got a beautiful
something higher
stream with
to
lots
which
of
we have
people
to,
in
even
here.
if it doesn't exist,
It's amazing.
that we have to use as the measure to guide our own actions.
I have to go.
And I like the way he said it.
And this is the way
We're talking
we
about
do
the
it.
same thing.
Okay, if you're
and if it
brave
inspires you to be better,
if you're brave enough, you get on your camera, get on your microphone, and start your YouTube stream, and then I'll put you up there instead of Viva, and we'll leave everything else around you. Like we'll leave all of this stuff up here, and all of this stuff up here. And instead of Viva, I'll put you in here, and you can say whatever you want for the next like 4 or 5 hours while I head out on the road. So who wants to start up their camera on their YouTube channel so that we can pop you in there?
That's it. That is it. All right, let me see if I missed anything on the Rumbles, and then I'm going to have to get back to catching up on stuff that's not so much fun, but we'll see.
You can eat a soup
if I missed any
sandwich
Rumble
masks,
rants on the Rumbles, I apologize, but I don't see any.
Meat sandwich.
People, stay tuned for what's going to be a good week of fun. Okay, the shout out to Phyllis. I just was pulling up another chat. Viva is holding out so hard to be agnostic. I'm telling you, I know people say,
okay, check out that
everyone who has
timestamp on
found their
Mudpig. Go back to
embodiment
Mudpig
of
132.
God says the same thing.
About Golden Chariot out of the hospital.
Members of the Jewish community trying to get me to see the light, so to speak.
That sounds dangerous.
That's not going to happen. I do believe, even if it's only in our own minds, that there has to be something that guides our conduct, lest we just fall prey to the temptations of life, like those soulless politicians who are only governed by the lust for power. And people don't think I'm not well aware of #confession through projection. I know what does not guide me.
Busy to meet up at the destination.
But don't be miffed when it doesn't happen. I enjoy discussion with everybody, but I believe I know my own psyche and my own stubbornness.
I'm sitting here inside the
my
house.
Uncle had a ranch in Buckeye, Arizona, years ago when there was nobody else around. Oh, that's a beautiful photograph that you have there. Mountain kayaker. Beautiful.
I gotta go.
God is within your, I think you meant heart, but I think it meant within your heart. It is what you believe in, but not
this is all you have to do.
Physically
Just
exist.
put yourself up on your camera, okay, on your YouTube channel.
Enjoy the wonderful day, Vicky Hennion. Okay, so let's do it.
Over here, where
God bless you, Viva. Thank you very much.
I'll put you
Thanks,
in here.
Viva.
So all you have
Nature
to do
lover.
is sit on
Good
your
to see you again.
camera and talk.
Seize the day. It was fun.
Right?
I ran
and watch what's going on here.
And who else did I run
while
into?
You talk
in
right
real
here,
time?
like Viva.
Oh, I forgot the avatar now. It's like crazy. But running into people who you've known from a history of commenting on live chats. Live streams is amazing.
Maybe I can do something
nice
else.
Yeah, I got some
somebody
sun.
Else stand by.
To donate to cancer, it has to be 10 inches long. And I don't think they want gray hair. I got a lot of gray hair. But yeah, I got a good tan this weekend. It's nice to get some sunlight.
Doing?
Vitamin D. Okay, peeps. Agree to disagree does not mean that all are forced by consensus. That only one is correct.
Whoa.
Agreed. Viva Mob Gnarly. Thanks. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm winding it down. Everybody, thank you all. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna go out and I saw some of the texts to which I must respond immediately. So we'll do it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Guys in the non-specific aggregate term. I actually had an argument with someone that guys was not gender specific, was actually aggregate. These are the discussions we have to have in modern times, people. Enjoy the rest of the day. Get out there, exercise, sunlight. And when I say it, I mean it. Unlike Justin Trudeau gaslighting you, talk to people in real life. And remember that there's a world beyond the screen, and people in real time, they have a feel. They have an energy, because real life interaction cannot be substituted for by Zoom meetings. So there's that. Okay, go. Enjoy the day. Talk soon. Peace.
All right, Miranda, I'm really excited to talk to you. I'm really excited to get the inside story of something that I truthfully...
Bet you are. I bet you are. Okay, hang on a second here. Let's just get this done up right. I don't know what's with this. Let me see if I can get something better in here, but stand by. It was a windy day that day. Hang on here. Let me fix this. I don't know what's going on here. Things are going crazy on me today. Okay, why is this not working? Because it's the wrong link, that's why. I have no idea what this is. It's an old footage by Jersey J. But that being said, let's see if we can pick them up a notch here.
I just changed my windshield blades.
This is Jersey
the
J.
And the windshield wipers. I just got new
Let's find
ones.
out what he's up to today.
That's why it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. I think it might have something
Doing their thing. 4 or 5, not likely.
Thank you very much for that.
Queenie, you want to step up and take over the show here today? All you have to do is just get on your camera there for about 4 or 5 hours.
Good fuel spot.
We're gonna
and talk.
What are we trying?
Oh.
To see if it worked.
Is that inside?
Do they have
Crochet masks, yeah.
Possibly. Do you want
I like the one where they make a mask out of like a crotch of a pair of nylons or something, you know. Those ones are the funniest. Where they put a pair of nylons right over their head, you know, like remember the old bandits in the old days?
Well, why don't you hang out and I'll go inside.
Oh, all right.
Wipe off the blades. I did, Brenda. I hit him with the sponge thing on that thing. Where's the card?
In my wallet.
Hit him with the sponge thing.
Your wallet. Right. Good.
Okay, people.
Okay.
Brain X
Friends,
washer fluid is
enemies,
yes.
Antifa,
Have something.
Boogalooies, whoever you are, Booga Boys. I don't even know what they are.
I
Booga
remember
Boys.
that commercial. Actually, just
You know, like
I haven't seen
if you're gonna
TV
name
in a
your
while,
group,
but
at
I
least
saw
pick
that
a name
commercial
that
last night.
you know doesn't sound funny.
I was just watching that. It's
The
funny that you
Boogaloos.
said that.
That's what they call your group.
Yeah, I know. I love Schwann's too. I like their pizza. Their pizza is so
Later,
good.
Queenie. Later. Hey, nice to see you there, Queenie, though. Everything will be all right.
Now you just
It's going to
made me
be all
hungry.
right.
Now I'm hungry. Yeah. I know. I was thinking that yesterday. I was like, all right, so you put like, what did you put, like 68 cents or something in the car? And he's like, 68 cents. He's like, now I can get the squeegee?
Wasn't loud enough. Okay, there we go. Hey, what are you watching?
like
Where are you?
probably
What are
a
you
good
doing? What are we up to?
Month since I've watched TV. I watched last night. I watched The Worst Cook.
Thanks a lot for joining us today, everyone. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. We were having fun. I wasn't doing too much of our Stream Deck sounds today because we were actually watching stuff here today, having fun. It was a party about to happen, but you know how that goes. At any point, the party has to end. But we'll be back again later. It's such a beautiful day outside where I live, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Oh yeah,
that I just can't sit here all day. I really can't. This is how beautiful it is outside. The sun is shining. The wind is hardly blowing at all. Look at the water in the bird feeder. It's looking.
I don't know if there
and I'm going to head out to the lake here right now. So we're going to see what it's like out at the lake. And you know what? When I get out there, I'll do a live video feed from the lake. That's what I'll do. But for now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to turn the feed off. I don't know who you could look at right now. Let me just look at the board. Viva Fry, Sasnak, DC Preachers Up, Grey Wolf, Mudpig, WYSIWYG, Oreo Express. I'm the only one doing a restream here that I know of at the moment. Just hang on a second. Let me just double check on my feed line here.
What they got in there.
See who's doing what. Bogart is up.
Oh, look at that.
He's not doing a restream.
We
now. He's
actually
doing
just
his own
got
stuff.
a lady that said she liked our flag on the
Got lots
hood.
of people up here right now.
We got a patriot
I'll
over
tell you
here.
who I see up. Right along gang, Aaron, J-Jack, Vortex Chasing, Weather Tracker, Broken Patriot, Nudes Honky Tonk, Viva Freight, Oreo Express, WYSIWYG, Mike Offs America, Black Conservative Preacher is up, War Stream's up, Global FM, Jeff Mack. Jeff Mack, that's who you want to see. Hang on a second, let me see what he's up to. Gone by. He's doing just American White House stuff. So he's not going to show you much about
Gotta get more people to come out here.
Blah, blah, blah.
We gotta have
Convoy.
more numbers. Gotta be more
Blah, blah,
numbers.
blah. Even Portland Andy is just showing the White House.
When the rallies.
So we're not going to see much
If we
there.
have more rallies, we need everybody to go down to their state and join.
Hate to recommend this guy. Let's see what he's looking at today.
We had 20 people there, but you know what? We still
He's
got
just
out
showing an
there.
old
Still
Ripta.
went up and down the streets.
No big deal. Okay, best thing to do is to check out this feed here. I'm going to drop a link.
flag
And
is still in
from this location,
It has a little hole in it from
you
an
can
amber
find
from one of
feeds
our,
that are active.
flyers.
Okay. So this is
I
your
just
Bible here for today.
saw that before.
SupportFreedom.net.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you for being
And
here.
I'll just punch that at the top. Oh, sorry.
So you want to check this out?
Yeah.
That's the wrong.
Okay.
Okay,
am I doing?
so I pinned to the top of the room
Are we going
SupportFreedom.net. That's the best place where you can go, pick out what you want to watch, and watch it from that location. They pretty much show, not everything, but a little bit. Yeah, Jeff Mack is watching politics. Anybody that I know of that's a multi-streamer is watching politics today. So all I can say is, hey, it's been fun here today. I wish I could carry on, but it being such a beautiful day out there, I'm going to have to say 73, 88.
Have a subway though.
We'll catch you later.
They have a subway.
Take care. Stay out of trouble.
On top
Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, hey,
I think it's doggone.
name it after me.
Doggone good fuel.
Woo!
Not joking. Doggone good fuel. So, we're in PA. We're hanging out. Jen's grabbing some food or something in there. But I'm just hanging out outside the car because going inside with a camera is just not, I don't know. I feel weird doing it. There's other people in there that just don't want to be on camera.
Later, people.